Testing, testing. What's up, boys? It's been a while. Where the fuck have I been, right? Oh my god. Yo. I told you I'm gonna get the job done. I did say originally it was gonna take about a weekend, but yeah, apparently it took a week. I got it done. Got the website done. Let's go take a look at it. But how you guys been? How's everybody been? Hope you guys alright. Do you like the new setup? Am I boss enough? Am I the boss? I must be the boss now. Like you guys are below me. Like you are lower than me. I'm higher. You get the point. I'm the boss. That's the point, right? Right. My OCD is playing in right now. I gotta get this sorted. Uh, but yeah, so we ended up pivoting last weekend. None of that this weekend. So I've done it. I've gone ahead and done the website. Let's go and see if I can get it up here. Not if I can get it. I will get it up here. But yeah, that's not the only thing that's changing. I've got some other plans as well. Is that alright? Yeah, that should be fine there. Okay, let's get it down to like there. Okay. I'm not even gonna check YouTube fucking what do you call it? The chat. It should be working. If not, we will find out eventually. Let me get okay, the tier list, they're all done. Or they're there, I mean. Let's get rid of this. We want display capture. Yeah, that's what we want. Display cap. Is that what I want? Let's see. Can you guys see everything I'm looking at now? Yeah, so for now, while we're here, I might as well get into it a bit. But while we are here, as you can see, like I told you, it's a little bit too early to celebrate, so I'm not going to for now. I'm still a bit, iffy on it, seeing if everything makes sense, blah, 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 all of that good stuff. But for now, we had that big old dump there. And I told you guys, like, we're going to come up, we'll pass it a bit, and then we're going to come back down quite fast and heavy. And for now, everything seems to be going as planned. Everything seems to be going as planned. So that's good. That's good. That's been my opinion for quite some time now. Yeah. So that's all good. What next? Yeah, just I'm gonna go ahead and show you the website. So you guys can get a look at it. All right, so well, that's not gonna cut it, is it? That is not going to cut it. All right, just a quick preview. Yeah, just a quick preview, and I'll go ahead and I've got some other plans. I'll just say that I've got some other plans, and yeah, for today especially. Right, so this is the website, and I just want to talk a little bit about it before we get into some other stuff as well. But as you can see, everything's new, everything's working, all the links are working, everything's good. Give me your thoughts. I would like to get your thoughts on everything. But yeah, I've got my nice little shark there, and then obviously everything is customized, and you guys know that this stuff takes quite a lot of time. But for those of you thinking, oh my god, this is like completely different, that's because it is. This is I told you I'd pivot, and when I pivot, I tend to do what I always do, which is go head first into everything and yeah, ask questions later. So that's what I've done yet again. I'm just looking at the camera because it seems like it's literally sitting. That's probably going to fall at some point. So here's that's pretty much the website. I just want to explain some things while we're here so everybody gets a picture of what everything is. Now I need to go and like edit some SEO things and like descriptions and stuff. That's the only thing that's left to do when it comes to the website. But like these are the challenges, the skill-based challenges, like I said before, which were like once enough people get involved and I can get enough like creators, streamers, YouTubers, TikTokers, whatever, involved in the Discord, then we're gonna have like skill-based challenges, and they're not just native to streaming and like videos and stuff. They're like quite universal, so it might be something totally something completely different from anything that's on Twitch and stuff. It's just like a bunch of streamers get together and they compete depending on their interests. So it's just to get people involved and yeah, give them something to do because, well, we've got to stand out from the rest when it comes to content creation because, well, yeah, if you don't, then you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. You've heard me say this many, many times before. And the idea of what is the business plan here? Well, the idea is you're probably going to fail as a content creator. Now, if this is the first time you're hearing of that, well, welcome to the stream. You're going to hear that a lot more often now. You're probably going to fail. The chances that you are going to become one of the top streamers or even a good enough streamer to be earning a living so you can pay your rent, you can like live basically and continue doing this are extremely low. They aren't as low as what I originally thought. So I did a bit of diving during this last week while I was working on the website, and the statistics are not as bad as I thought. Like I originally thought it's like 1% of streamers will ever make it, or content creators, but it's actually not that. In fact, I was actually blown away by the statistics when it comes to like, all right, you're not in the top 1%, so you're earning millions, but it's like 20% of content creators will earn like 50 to 100K within the first 2 years. That's fucking sick. Like that statistic right there is absolutely, that's really fucking cool. And that's considering like, that's just considering traditional methods. So you get paid by subscribers, followers, views, and then YouTube will advertise on your videos and whatnot, and you get paid by that way. Which is fucking awesome, man. That's actually sick. And then I've come along and I'm saying, let's increase your chances. And why am I doing that? Why do I care about you? I don't. This is a business. I care about myself and you care about yourself, but we can work together. We're working for a similar goal, which is success when it comes to content creation. So we all work together. We participate in events, in challenges. And yeah, this is basically, you want to become a content creator, this is where you're going to come. Okay. This is where you're going to come to get recognized, basically. Does it apply to anybody who's a big creator? I don't know. We'll find out. I can see ways that it can. But yeah. Okay, so top 100. This is a... Okay, my fucking camera's being weird again. Okay. That's a nice place to stop. Yeah, so top 100. What is the top 100? Okay, so the top 100 is basically what we did last week, where I basically just watch videos and I rate them from like S, A, B, C, D, or whatever the fuck it is. Well, obviously I've changed that just because I wanted to. And anybody can submit a video. So even you guys, if you like a video, you think that you want to see it get rated, or maybe you yourself have posted a video and you would like it to be rated, Well, then you go here, you go to submit your video. It will open up the Discord link, connect you to it, and yeah, you get redirected to one of the forums, and you just post the link in there. And maybe for now, we'll say once a week I will go ahead, because there's nobody in the Discord for now. But my hope is that pretty soon I'm going to be able to change that. And the way I'm going to do that is because, well, obviously I've interviewed people in the past, as you guys know, and we're going to go back to them, and I'm going to show them like the shorts that I've made and, you know, how I've posted it. Try to get them involved and say to them, hey guys, you know, you want to actually see some progress and you want to, you know, don't limit yourself. Here's another way you can do that. Join the Discord, get involved. And yeah, so that's my plan. So it's not exactly I'm just sitting around waiting for people to join. It's not going to happen like that. I need another way to get this done. So investors is just like some basic fucking text, and viewers is nothing special. It's just like a description of everything that's going on here. Or time that probably needs updated. And then we've got ways for you to actually make some money. So advertisement. The idea here is, maybe I'm going a little bit too fast. Let me know, guys. I just want to get this done because this is not the fun part of the stream, let's just say. I've sat and done it for the last week, so I might as well showcase it. Right, so the idea behind the advertisement is I'm a creator, you're a creator. Now, as far as we know, big companies will get in contact with big creators. So good, you have a big following on YouTube, on Twitch, or whatever, and they will give you, either make an agreement with you or pay you a certain amount to promote their content, their product, their service, whatever the case. That idea is still the same. That doesn't change, except now it's creator to creator directly. Basically I come to you, and depending on how many viewers you already have, the metrics should be something like your maximum amount of viewers divided by the amount of videos you have. And then you get an average, and you get paid a specific amount for each type of video. Now, if you're a small creator, you're not going to be earning a lot, but it's still giving you some extra cash. And you can advertise up to 3 products or services in a video. Anything more than that, I think it will get bloated, and they have to correlate. So one might be just like a watermark, the other one might be like you review their content. This is a deal made. It's not a specific thing. Maybe it will become more specific into the future, just for the fuck of convenience. And yeah, you just have a conversation with other creators, and you guys come up with a deal that you both agree on. And yeah, you get paid. I pay you. For the starters, it will be me paying you guys. And I just have to come up with the terms of what it is I'm interested in you guys advertising on my behalf. So it could just be my logo, or you review one of my videos. So the idea is you don't react to other content, you react to my content because you get paid to do it. No way, sweet. Yeah, we're back, bro. Yo, we're back. So that's the website. We can get a little bit into more details in the future. You got funding as well. So if you're, depending on your size, small, medium, big streamer, content creator, you can get funded. But as you can see, danger, stay out of the water. There are sharks. And by sharks, I mean investors, which is why I have the tab here. And then also we're going to have a store where we're going to be able to, how do you call it? Where it's like, what is it called again, man? Basically a company, affiliate links or something like that. I can't fucking remember. And hopefully the bigger we get, the better prices we are going to be able to provide you guys with. And obviously this is growing community, so it's not just about prices, it's about this is where you're gonna go. So you want to be a content creator, you need funding, you need to make some money, you need equipment, you need a way to grow. Anything you need, this is where you are going to come in the future, okay? Or from now, basically. That's the idea behind it in so many words, but enough of that. I want to get into what we are doing today. Seeing as we're back, it's been a week, literally. Like, it was a week ago that I was streaming, and yeah. I have a surprise for you guys. I don't really know if you're going to like the surprise, but I do. So we're definitely going to go ahead and do that. So yeah. I subscribe to World of Warcraft again. Now I don't know how it's going to turn out this time, because usually what happens is I will take a break for a couple of months, come back, and then dedicate my life's work to this game for the next month or so. But I don't know if that's gonna, hopefully I can get some content out of it, but in general I just want it to be something in the background, and then we're gonna be like listening to debates still while I'm playing. I just want something to do in the meanwhile, because not everything requires my full attention. So I'm just gonna be doing like gold farming and stuff like that, not any progress fucking raiding and dungeons and shit for now. At least I don't think I have an interest for that. I'm a bit too old to be pressing that many buttons that fast. It's not something I can deal with. Lamar, it's still the same till next month. Hardcore Classic is popping off right now. Yo, I couldn't care less about fucking hardcore, bro. I have zero interest. I have no idea how you guys do it. That shit sounds like cancer to me, like absolute fucking torture. I love, you know, like you put in an effort, you want to see the result. It is. Yeah, it's fucking cancer. It's torture. You just like a bunch of fucking masochists. That's what it is. Yeah. Okay. Right. What? Yeah, as you can see, I got a bit of work to do because everything looks pretty fucked up. I might just say myself. React game. Okay, this is not the one I want. React. Let's see. Maybe I'll edit this one. No, I'll leave this one as is, and we'll go ahead and. Oh, raid. Okay, we got raid. Let's keep raid here. For now, I'm gonna get rid of the YouTube chat here, and I'll just keep the Twitch one, because yeah, nobody really cares about YouTube apparently, or at least that's the idea I'm getting. All right, let's see if I can manage this. Yeah, that's a bit big. I mean, that's not, let's see, maybe like something like that. I don't fucking know. I want display capture though. Okay, there we go. But it's not. Wait, why is it showing you fucking? It shouldn't be showing you any of this. Reset transform. Okay, that's good. Ooh, so it's showing you everything. That's sick. Let's see. Some of your talents have been reset. Okay, yeah, I don't care about any of that. You can't see anything for now. A little bit smaller. I think that should be fine, right? Right, guys? Have I got anything in this corner? No, that's just my chat. Perfect. Okay, so you guys can't see the chat. That's good. Chat in game, I mean. Maybe I'll make that a little bit bigger. Okay, no, that's way too big. Okay, just leave it like that. That's fine. That should be fine. Oh, yeah, it's been a while, man. Haven't played this shit in like 3 months or so. We can't, yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I don't want to be able to see chat because I don't fucking know what anybody's gonna say or when somebody's gonna say it. I've forgotten how to play this game. Swipe, swipe. Shift 5. Okay, yep, that makes me tiny. Give it that. Totally. Okay, anytime now. Swipe, swipe. Speed test. Okay, you guys can't see any of that. Or collect traders tender. The goods with the trading post. What the fuck is this shit? Collect traders tender from the collector's cash. Tour the trading post. Then present this flyer to Shiri. Okay. Yeah, sort of Shiri. Oh. Wait, can you guys hear that? With huge... There is a small new zone in Valdraken. With huge ring. Serious? Dragon Isles away. I don't know if I want to get into it though, bro. I really don't know, really. I have no idea, man. Because if I get into like the hardcore stuff, like fucking, if I go to like the new zone, wherever the fuck it is, I think we're losing track at this point. Dragon Isles. Valdraken. Where the fuck's Valdraken? Azure Span. Walking Shores. Saldrassus. Valdraken. Where the fuck's Valdraken? The Forbidden Reach. What is this called? I haven't even been to like probably most of the zones yet. Let me know if you can you hear the game. I want to be able to hear you guys to hear the game, or at least to know if you. Okay, yeah, you do. You should be able to. Desktop audio. It says that work. What else did I want? I wanted something else as well. Something else. What was it that I wanted? Okay, I'm gonna get rid of the game, seeing as nobody gives a fuck about that, which is perfect. Love that. You know, I just love spending time like making shit and then nobody likes it. It's unbelievably amazing. That is, it's really fun how, you know, you invest your time into something and then it just doesn't pay off whatsoever. Love it. Brilliant. Right, adventure guide. Okay, so this guy is this is the guy I go to farm. Right, let's see. What else have we got? I need to update my fucking... You have been disconnected. Fuck my dick. Right, I have to edit my thing on the stream. Because if I'm going to be, like, streaming WoW, I want to be able to tell people that. Ooh, we're seeing the fucking... what is it called again? Just chatting. No, we don't want just chatting. I want... Where is it? Create a dashboard. your live. Manage stream. Edit stream info. Yeah, that's what we want. I will get to changing these things. World of Warcraft. Yep, that's the one I want. Done. Okay, we'll close that now. I think, yeah, sure. And then I'll go into edit the fucking YouTube one just in case. Yeah, the whole reason, like, this is like the algorithm, right, guys? Like, I'm not this thirsty fucking guy who's all got all like women all over his like feed. It's not about that, right? It's got to do with, you remember we reviewed the swimwear video, the fucking famous video, whatever. Ever since then, it's just been like non-stop, like getting that shit on my feed. And I'm not gonna lie, like I've taken a look at sometimes, but yeah. News, gaming, World of Warcraft. Let's just change this. What are you doing? What can I type gaming? Why can't I type? Optional. What's going on here? Why is nothing working? Maybe if I type it somewhere else. Let's see. World of Warcraft. Okay, let's copy that. Get it into there. Okay, can't save. Okay, save. I guess we're just going with game. Moderation helps everyone feel safe. Close. Couldn't care less. Fuck up. Okay. Everything seems alright here. Excellent connection. It's always good to see. I also want to check what my PC is saying. What's my PC saying? Oh, that's not that bad. 60% memory. Yo, easy game. I would have thought it would be using a lot more. Maybe it's because I'm not in the game yet. Okay. You can go away. Exit application. Okay. But I need some add-ons. At some point, I'm going to need some add-ons, aren't I? A little bit bigger. Yeah, I need add-ons. I need add-ons like fucking TSM and Auctionator and all of that good stuff. We can continue watching this.
But LGBT friendly ideology. I already know that, okay? But the fact is, I agree. It's probably true that there's homophobia in Chechnya. They're very much more in favor of more traditional values. That's their business. As far as concentration camps are concerned, I've seen no fucking evidence for that, throwing them in concentration camps. But even if I were to grant you that that was true, that still doesn't make them fucking Nazis who want to
Okay, let me see. Copy URL at this time. Okay.
who want to exterminate whole peoples because of their fucking nationality or their race or their ethnic origins. You seem to think that's not as bad or that's some kind of equivalent, right? But I don't think that's a fucking equivalent. I don't think having a conservative country, which I don't agree with persecuting sexual minorities, I just don't think that's on the same fucking level as being a goddamn fucking Nazi. You seem to not fucking care about that distinction. Now you're saying that I'm downplaying the Nazis on the Russian side because they're not convenient. Never mind the fucking fact fact that in
Oh,
terms
no,
of
here
the
we go.
objective significance they have
Here we
compared to
go.
the fucking Azov battalion on the Ukrainian side, they are nowhere near as fucking relevant. They're not significant. They are marginal.
Crazy. You can't
They
do
are
this.
marginal.
Yeah, okay, I thought it was. Well, infrared.
Objective.
Infrared, 1 second.
Objective.
Infrared, hold on. I just need you to. I thought it. I did sense something too. It did seem like your
he
volume
jacked
did
his
go
shit
up
up.
like
Oh,
20,
yeah.
20 seconds ago. It did seem like something.
Yeah, because you're making everybody louder than me.
No, I promise.
Was that Russian
I
propaganda?
don't even know how to do that.
I mean, these
Yeah, because
Nazis.
people in my
These
chat
are
are telling you that. People in my own chat are telling you that.
Infrared, I can give you 20 seconds on terms
Yeah,
of wrapping up your point, but then I've got to kick
Yeah.
it over to Steven.
Dylan is making the claim that that it's just inconvenient for me rather than the actual reality.
Right, so for those who don't know, they're having a debate now about the. This is a year old, by the way, but it's come to my attention basically. That I have certain views in life, and I'm willing to be wrong about them. And I think over the years, I've probably changed my mind a number of times. I'm not saying this is one of them. I'm just saying that I like to look at things from a different perspective, because anybody who's like heard me, they might get the idea that, you know, I wouldn't blame anybody for getting the idea that I'm a pro-Russian fucking whatever the fuck, which is not the case, but I can see that somebody would see that. I was at a dinner party, well, a dinner party, it was a birthday party. My wife's dad had a birthday the other day, and we were there, and bear in mind I live in Russia. So this is like having a conversation with her family. Obviously, we have language difficulties because I don't speak Russian, and the only other one who speaks English like good is my wife. Oh, there's a bit of translation going on there, and also my wife's brother's daughter. She's really good. She's like, when she talks, okay, anyway, besides the point. And anyway, one of the questions that I asked at the dinner table, obviously quite further into the into the night, was what are your guys' opinions of Putin and what's going on? And obviously they gave their answer, which was like the typical thing, which is just like the thing that's being portrayed on the news, but not to that extent. So people are not stupid, and for anybody who doesn't know, people are not exactly rallying in the streets claiming their love for Putin. That doesn't happen. Everybody keeps to their own business, and that's like one of the main reasons why I like living here. I come from a little island, a little town. Everybody knows everybody. If you fart, everybody's going to find out about it. Is basically where I come from. So living here, it gives me a different perspective on life, where it's like, not everybody has to be in your shit 24 hours a day. What? What is that? Okay, never mind. Yeah. So I kind of like that. So nobody's exactly like sharing their, you know, claiming their love for the president or whatever. But on the other hand, there are a lot of positives. And this goes back to, I think this is like got to do with before he became a president, or during his, like, the part where he was going to become president, talking about Putin. The Russia was not in a good state during that time. And he kind of came in and sorted things out. And when I say sort things out, it's like if Russia was at from a 0 to 10, on a 0 to 10 scale, like in terms of good versus like bad, everybody's dying, there's poverty everywhere, there's like 0, whatever. And then 10 is like everybody's balling. If Russia was like at a 2, which would be an understatement, Putin was able to bring it up to like a 6. So for everybody living here, it's a net positive. The net positive. Shit goes on. Yeah, the government does what it does, sure. But at the end of the day, there are a lot less people poor. Yeah, oligarchs, yeah, taking over. We know all of this shit, and so do the Russian people. Very intelligent people, by the way. Sophisticated and that. I have my own opinions of that kind of stuff. But anyway, so after asking their opinion, I was asked to give my opinion, and I think this pretty much sums up my take on the whole situation, which is like, do you like Putin was the question. My straight answer was like, no, I don't like Putin. I don't like war. I don't like what's going on right now. But at the end of the day, he's a president of a country, and he has a big responsibility to his people, and he's making the decisions that he feels are in the best interests of his people. I think that can be said about any other president, good president in the world. That's the job of the president. Job of the president is not to take care of the rest of the world. That's kind of the issue that I fall onto, and I've always fell onto, well, at least for the longest period of time, where it's like, the president's job is to take care of his country, correct? Yes, okay. So if fucking over the rest of the world to take care of your people or better the lives of your people, does that make you a good president or a bad president? No, it makes you a good president. Does it make you a good or a bad man? It makes you a bad man. That's kind of obvious, like you're a piece of shit, but you're doing your job. That's where the contradiction comes into play, and it's kind of the same thing about owning a business. You are incentivized to fuck people over as to increase your profits and satisfy your shareholders. Shareholders being like your the people of the country, the CEO being the president, and then everybody else being your customers. You can see that analogy being made. And so what I fall onto is that's not like everybody's so busy focusing on Putin's a madman, or he's a saint, or he's kind of a little bit of both, and America the same, or this and that. And yeah, I have had my opinions on NATO, but my opinions are pretty straightforward. Like, what worries me the most is one power ruling the world, because when that happens, it's like we've lost all our freedoms. You don't get to stand up, fight for your right, have freedoms, have rights, because the moment you question something you shouldn't, or you ask too many questions, or you do something that you're not supposed to do, like, you just get wiped off the face of the earth at that point, because there's only one power. Nobody can like stand up to them. You yourself stand up, the people rising up. The chances of that happening are extremely fucking low. Given the right circumstances, could that happen? Sure. Could the people rise up eventually, finally? Yeah, maybe. I don't really have a lot of hope for that.
Well met. Go in peace.
But otherwise, the only thing that guarantees us safety in life, and like the only reason we can like sleep at night, in my opinion, or the only reason why it's possible to sleep at night, is simply for the fact that, you know, America's not the only ruling power in the world. China is not the only ruling power in the world. Russia is not the only ruling power. We've seen that, and I'm actually happy that Russia did what it did and is still doing what it's doing. And there are other countries in the world who don't agree with it. Rightfully, not rightfully is irrelevant to me. I don't really care about that. Well, I do care about it to some extent, but inevitably I don't really, because what I care about is the fact that it's being judged and there are consequences, and it's being sanctioned. And even though we can argue about the effects of being sanctioned and blah blah blah, I think at the end of the day, just the fact that if Russia decided tomorrow, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want, there would be an answer to that. And if America was in the same position, there would be an answer to that. And as long as there's competition, then we are fine. In my opinion, we're not the best we could ever be, which I'm a big proponent of, like striving to achieve that. But we're not exactly bad off, okay? Like we can't sit here and say that we're worse than we were 100 years ago. We definitely cannot do that. And so I'm happy in those terms.
Traveler.
That's what I really care about. Holy fuck, bro! This is a WoW token. Motherfucking Jinsu, bro! I love this weapon. Let's fucking go. Yeah, put that for 48 hours, please. Thank you. Create auction. And let's see if I lose that to the auction house again. How much is this? Dog shit. Dog shit. Dog shit. Dog shit. Useless. Butcher, bro. Sell it for 20k? Butcher? How rare is it? I don't know. Did I sell that? Bone Slasher. I mean, that and Jinsu, they pretty much look kind of the same. This one, yeah, I might sell for 10 grand. Let's try it. Tyrant's chest piece. Dog shit. Yo, the fucking loincloths are like $1 grand. That's bullshit, bro. Glorious up to 10 grand again. At least they're not 500G. Here we go. Yeah, that's a pretty rare one. And I know you're looking at it, you're thinking, yo, it's a stick. Yeah, I know it's a stick, but the only other like weapon in the game that has this like design, the way it looks, it was removed from the game. And so this is the only one you can get which has this like model and like collectors collect it. Figured that one out. I don't know. Am I selling Glorious for like 10 grand? Nah, fuck that. These are rare as fuck, bro. Anything here of interest? Saltstone chest is like $1 grand. The fucking gimpy clothes are like, that's not that good. That's like $4 grand. Pagan vest. Okay, I'll sell the pagan vest. Yeah, that can fuck off. That looks like shit. Death blow. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, it don't really look that good. I'm like going to totally off topic, aren't I? Yep, I can see that. Ooh, pop out crush. I've got a couple of those, so I don't really care about that. That can go. Corpse shroud. Yeah, sure. I've got like multiples of these, or warden stuff. This fucking item, I swear to God, is absolute dog piss. Yeah, sell these definitely if you can. That would be awesome. Yeah, I'll get back to the point in 2 seconds, guys. I just wanna, because I haven't done this in a very long time. Silver thread. Okay, they were never really that fucking rare anyway. 200 for silver thread armor. Yeah, nah, bro. That's dog shit. That is dog shit. Bone Slasher, 119k. Yeah. Meh. Anyways, so yeah, that's kind of my view on the whole thing. So I just want to lay that out because at face value, you might think like, Jesus Christ, how could you be supporting Russia in its literal invasion? Because that's what it is. Like, I'm not in fucking denial sitting here saying to you that yes, Russia was in the right to invade Ukraine because there are fucking Nazis running left, right, and center. Like, that shit's not happening. Like, if you think that I'm sitting here believing that, or even if that is the case, war is still war. Russia did go into Ukraine. Like, you cannot change those facts. And whether it's some kind of special military operation or not, fucking cities were shot at and bombed, and like people have died in the war. Like, you can't deny those things. Like the fact that it's being pushed as this in Russia, because that's not a lie. Like on the news everywhere, it's like they're going in there and tactically taking out a military base or something like that. That was the thing that if they were able to accomplish that, that would have been better than this. But yeah, it's war. There is no fucking morality in war, and the whole fucking Geneva Convention thing can go fuck itself up the arse because it's just a fucking piss take. It's like, yeah, we're gonna go to war. Probably thousands and millions are gonna die, but you know what? We're not really gonna like use bullets that can literally kill 5 people at a time. We'll just use bullets that can kill 2 people at a time. Like, it's like, yeah, really? When it comes to like nukes and shit, I'm all for like the Geneva Convention. I think at least that's the case. But yeah, so that's where I stand. And these guys are having a debate. And it's been going on for like, I've watched half of it already, which is like an hour. Got another hour left. And up at the top, you've got like 2 people that are in favor of America. Like they're making the argument, or at least against Russia. And the other 2 on the bottom are against Ukraine and saying that they are complete, like they're in the wrong. They were the ones who initiated it, who started it, whether it was through the Americans, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, so I've pretty much gone against in some terms, like saying this and that. But again, like, I don't really think he's a madman talking about Putin. And I don't think America is all that innocent either. I think there were things that America could have done to at least not provocate the situation. But then again, would that have stopped Russia? I don't fucking know. I kind of think the idea of owning Ukraine as being Russia and owning Ukraine doesn't really sound all that bad. And did Russia need an excuse to go into Ukraine? Possibly. But the question is, would Russia, Putin, gone into Ukraine without a so-called excuse? That is a good question to be asked. I don't know the answer to that question. I would like to know the answer to that question. It'd be interesting to know that. I can't say for sure, but I'm leaning more towards the side, no, I don't think it needed an excuse. I think that anyway, it would have been on the table. It has been on the table for a very long time, and something that Russia is incentivized to go ahead and do. I come from Cyprus. The Turks invaded Cyprus in the 70s and basically took half of our country, and they still own it. And there's even been talks quite a lot along the last 10 or so years of how they want to take over the rest of the fucking country. So I don't really exactly come from a country that's living in peace and harmony and nothing's ever wrong. Like, I'm very clear on the fact that that is a very difficult situation to be in. I didn't experience it, so I don't really know. But yeah, so again, like I said, America's been ruling the world for the last fucking 100 years. It did what it did in Iraq, Iran. There were a lot of conspiracies about 9/11 and shit, that there was an inside job and that was the excuse they needed to basically go into those countries. I have been questioning the series. That was something that I've believed a lot about over the last years, but inherently I question my belief in that theory because the only thing that I had a leg to stand on was like where there's like videos of the building collapse and you can see like explosives going off before the airplane collapses. Like the fact there was nothing left of the airplane. Like there are some things which when I had heard about them, they were like, okay, that sounds like I'm not, but again, I'm not an engineer, I'm not a mechanic. I can't really speak for those things. It was just like listening to people talk about them. Recently, like thanks to like Destiny, and I have to give a lot of credit there, and his debates and stuff. There are a lot of things that I could be wrong on, and yeah, so I'm interested to figure those things out.
Greetings, traveler.
Don't want to be ignorant
Be careful.
and be saying shit that just like factually not true. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Let's see what these guys have to say about it. Let's see.
Being the fact that the Russian nationalists and the Russian neo-Nazis are completely marginal in the Donbass, whereas the Azov battalion are not. He mentioned something also about Lukashenko's out of comments that were taken out of context. Lukashenko is an anti-fascist, 100% anti-Nazi, 100% anti-Hitler. We can actually get into the nitty-gritty of what proves and backs that up too. You took some statements he made out of context.
Steven's been waiting for a while to respond.
Yeah, so just to reiterate again, the Azov battalion is not making up the brunt of the fighting forces in East Ukraine.
Yeah, in
This is an
Eastern Ukraine,
incredibly
they were.
small.
They were in Eastern Ukraine.
This is a small battalion of like less than 3,000 fighters. The idea that these people are making up the majority of Ukraine's forces is just not true. And even of the Azov battalion, only a minority of these people
Nobody
are
said they're
neo-Nazis.
numerically the
Even of the Azov battalion, a minority of these people are Nazis. There are problems there for sure, but this claim that there is a broader Nazi problem in Ukraine, I mean, at this point maybe there is. If we're defining Nazis as people that are pro-LGBT and pro-Semitism, I don't know what kind of Nazis these are, or what makes them Nazis. Aside from earlier, you said they kill people, which I guess everybody on the planet is everybody's Nazi. I don't like Hitler wasn't going for like pro-European supremacy.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
I would like.
Did you really just say he wasn't going for European supremacy? In his last fucking speech, he talked about how Europe will be triumphant against the hordes coming from Central Asia.
Europe who? Europe who? Every member of Europe, every state that he invaded, every group of
Yes,
people
he
that
was a
ethnically
European
genocide?
supremacist.
Okay.
He was a Western
Yeah,
European
it's-
supremacist. He considered
Can
Western
I just want to, I'm just curious about
and
this.
everyone else to be subhuman.
Would you characterize the Nazism of Germany as having a large anti-Semitic component and having a large ethnic component, where that ethnicity is not defined as European?
The Aryan is literally Western European for the Nazis. That's literally what it is.
Okay.
I would like.
Okay, because you're a little bitch
Jackson, I
and you
think
never
Jackson
fucking
has a
defend
point.
what you
Jackson-
just said.
Jackson
You're
would like
fucking
to
wrong.
jump in. Let's have Jackson. Go ahead.
I would like to just say one thing really quick and then a broader point. So, Destiny seems to be just hyper focusing on the Azov battalion, which yes is making up the brunt of the violent aggression against the people.
Yo, I think I fucked up. Yo, I had a fiery war axe. I had a fiery war axe for like level 19, which was like a twink item. And I think I auctioned it. Didn't go and retrieve it from the mailbox. Unsubscribed from WoW, and now it's gone forever. I honestly think I've done that. I would not be surprised if I have. Like, it wouldn't be the first time. Like, I've lost so much shit in the fucking auction house. What do I have on here? I don't fucking know. I have like a bunch of shit. I don't even know how much any of this is worth.
Keep your ear to the ground.
You're not in a guild. Okay.
Of Donetsk and Luhansk, which keep in mind that war, 81% of the civilian deaths that have
I've
taken place
definitely
there in the
done
past
that.
3 years took place on the side of Donetsk and Luhansk. But as I mentioned, the people who literally led this coup are the ultra-nationalist right-wingers, many of whom, but not all, are anti-Semites and encompass this neo-Nazi, ideology. You seem to be leaving that out, and I can guess the motive why.
Why do you keep?
But to get to the broader point here, Destiny, a few minutes ago, you said that
How may I aid you?
it's not okay for, and I'm paraphrasing, so if you want to rephrase this after the fact, go for it. It's not okay for troops to come into a what you recognize
Okay, we
as
have
a
the one
sovereign country,
Ginsu. I know
and,
I had
forcibly
two,
bring
and now I
about
haven't.
a change of power.
No, I
think
definitely
that's,
auctioned it off.
we can both agree, right? So
So I had
why is
3
it
of them.
that you think that
I had 3 Jinsus, and now I only have 2. I don't know. Last time I sent a fucking ticket to fucking Blizzard support. I mean, they're not at fault here, and the answer I'm definitely going to get is go fuck yourself. You should have fucking checked your mailbox. But fine, whatever. We'll go and see what we can do about it. Like, anybody who's going and arguing with like Destiny and the other guy on behalf of like I can understand if your argument is coming from a place of I don't support Russia, it's war, like how the fuck can I support it? It's not like Ukraine was invading Russia and they're protecting themselves. Like, well, there have been arguments, but that happened on that side of the border, on that side of Ukraine. So I don't really think there's anything to be discussed there. But these guys are like going head in, like literally like the only way you can justify their logic
Greetings.
is like
Be careful.
it would only be in the case of like, yes, Russia is bad, but they're not insane, they're not crazy. Like there is some logic to this. It's not just madness. Like if they had come into the debate with that perspective, like I would be pretty open-minded and would give them a chance. But it kind of seems like they're going full in on the fact like, yo, like Ukraine, Nazis, Russia is going in there, deleting the Nazis, and yeah, that's a net positive for the rest of the world, because guess what? Nobody likes Nazis. It just feels very iffy. And every time I've heard of this, like Nazis, like it kind of seems pretty convenient, like the whole terrorism, war on terrorism, like they're terrorists. When you hear the word terrorist, like you can't be justifying terrorists, can you? Well, you can't really be justifying Nazis either, even though we've had plenty of people in the last like year especially who have really pushed forward like Nazism in the world.
that it's okay, I guess, for these far-right paramilitary groups that encompass this neo-Nazi ideology to hijack
I definitely
the Maidan
auctioned off a
protests,
Jinsu, and now it's
massacre
gone.
people on February 20th when the protests were actually dying down and people were going home, and cause all of this violence to spiral out of control. And then when negotiations are going on between some of these neo-Nazis and the Yanukovych government to try and bring about pre-term elections to restore some order to the Ukrainian government with Yanukovych, the neo-Nazi factions, again, like Andrei Parubi, who was the leader, the commandant of the Euromaidan protests, he ordered upon his paramilitary individuals to continue blockading, to continue, holding their ground, so to speak, and holding their ground
Yeah,
throughout
I've
the
definitely
entirety of
done
these
that.
protests, meant raining down hellfire upon both protesters and police to incite more violence. And there's been countless Maidan leaders and activists who provided testimony that they were the snipers. It was not members of the Ukrainian police who were doing this.
Or Destiny.
Wait, so do you not believe that Yanukovych ordered his special military people to fire on protesters? You think that's just completely and totally bullshit?
Oh, 100%. There's no evidence, and in fact,
Ukraine's Ministry of Internal Affairs literally says as much. Why do you say there's no evidence of that?
Because the Ukrainian investigation into this, the special investigation into this, actually did not make any initial charges against people who were involved in this. And again,
Wait, they didn't make charges because Yanukovych wasn't even given guarantees that he wouldn't be charged. That's why he fled to Russia. Unlike the prior prime minister that was able to have a transfer of power because he was guaranteed he wouldn't be charged, Yanukovych wasn't given any such guarantee. That's why he left the country.
My point here as to why I'm right.
Not really. Also, earlier you said you keep citing the fact that you keep citing the fact that in the East. Wait, hold on. Wait, I barely talked. This guy's like rambled so much. I haven't responded to half what this shit guy said.
Said that there's no evidence for this, so I'm going to answer
question. I promise we'll come right back to you, Steven.
So you said, why do I think that there's no evidence for this or whatever? So the Ukrainian investigation, they didn't.
I feel like I haven't responded to literally like fucking 80%. Like he keeps like adding on a second thing at the. Do I just keep talking? I don't know.
15 self-admitted members of the Maidan sniper units admitted in media interviews to the Maidan massacre, to sniping police and protesters. Several former members of the Georgian military testified that they and other groups of Maidan snipers in Hotel Ukraina, where these bullets were coming from, and the investigation actually proved that bullets were coming from here. They just never actually went to the extent of saying who was in the hotel.
Wait, do you want to kick it over to Steven? Just because I did give you a chance to answer the question, so jump back.
Oh, there's a lot of evidence. So if Steven wants the full answer, he should be willing to get the full answer.
There's like 20 different things I haven't responded to. So, who's finding?
Change the goalposts.
I'm not changing. You're the one that's adding a new goalpost at the end of every single sentence you've said.
You literally said what's.
I can't even respond. I can't even respond. Okay, hold on. Wait. Okay. Are we doing this right now? Is this what we need to do to get the conversation going? Okay. So who do you side with? Who's ruling? What organization, what government's ruling do you side with that said that police did not fire upon protesters during the Euromaidan?
What side do I side with?
No, whose investigation are you citing? Whose details? Whose findings? Not a one-off media interview that was posted on Russia Today.
I'm referring to the testimonies given by the snipers themselves.
Testimony to who? Why would you only agree? Why would you only look at some testimony? Why wouldn't you look at the overall ruling of the Ukrainian Interior Ministry?
Because the Ukrainian investigation did not place fault on either side, though according to the testimonies themselves, they admitted fault for doing this.
It's not that they didn't place fault on that. They explicitly said that Yanukovych ordered his police to fire upon the protesters. Do you deny that they said that?
They did not place blame on them.
Why do you keep saying place blame? Who's saying place blame? They made the statement. Their findings said.
Who did they charge? I don't
know if it was I don't think it was their role to charge anybody. And Yanukovych already fled the country.
It was their role to place charges. They didn't place charges because they couldn't find evidence that the police did this. In fact, the reason why Destiny, why can't you give me an answer for this? There were testimonies that the Maidan, the Maidan organizers were the snipers who shot at police and protesters. We have forensic examinations as well by government ballistic experts, which determined that about a dozen cases that the protesters were shot from Maidan-controlled structures.
I told you, like, they're gonna fuck me over. Like, this is fucking Blizzard we're talking
found
about.
that the bullets killed protesters did not match bullet samples from the police. I mean, I could go on and on.
Where's my tobacco?
Why are you making assumptions without looking at the evidence itself?
Because I feel like I would rather rely on the overall rulings or findings of the entire committee rather than just trying to go off of some of the testimony.
Yeah, motherfucker, what constitutes evidence for these people? What constitutes evidence? Because unless it's like legitimately like a physical thing that you can like feel, see, hear, touch, smell, or it's some like recorded documentation that was like videographic proof, like pictures that have been tested and have been verified to be totally legit. If it's just like, oh yeah, this guy said it, I don't really think that constitute. That definitely doesn't constitute evidence.
That you might have found given by some of the officers that may or may not have been involved.
Well, I could go on more, but you have to understand that this committee, at the end of the day, is being controlled by the coup government who actually carried out this operation.
But earlier you had no problems going by information that comes from the Russian State Department about stuff going on in Ukraine?
Yeah, I mean, bro.
I'm talking
victims were
about
guilty.
this. Why?
Ask
Why?
them.
I mean, bro, like you can't do that. Like even in that case, it's like, are you honestly saying that everything that comes out of Russian is totally legit and there's no reason for them to manipulate information or whatsoever? Like this shit happens all the time, all over the world. Every single government does it. There's something going on and you get told half the story, we get told half the story, or you don't get told the story at all because of, well, you can make they can make the argument that people are going to panic or people can't handle it, or it would put our lives in jeopardy, put the state of the country in jeopardy. Like if this information got out and if our enemy knew that the people knew about this information, they could use it to their advantage. Like there are legitimate reasons why governments don't tell us everything, or at least like they tell us as least as possible. That's not a like. I can see that being the case. Like you're the president of a country, like you want to make decisions, or you are the country. You want to be making decisions, good decisions. You don't want to be people running around in the street and creating chaos. It's not ideal.
That it was police from the Ukrainian, security services that fired down. Now you're getting caught in a little, a little problem here. So you're trying to deflect back to earlier discussions. Why did you make that claim without evidence?
Why did Yanukovych flee the country? Was it when he wasn't given a guarantee that he'd be prosecuted if he didn't do anything?
It was a coup government that was gonna fucking Trump shit up.
It was a coup government that was led by the guy that he was gonna make his prime minister anyway.
Destiny, I just want to say one last thing on this point, because clearly you're refusing to acknowledge the reality of the situation. Most people consider what took place on February 20th, when 49 individuals were killed, as the most controversial hours in any European conflict since the end of the Cold War. It was the precipice for this coup. It was what launched all of this conflict into action, so to speak. So the fact that it was a false flag attack led by the coup protesters themselves, the militia organizers themselves, to try and get Western backing and to try and incite more chaos in the streets when the protests were dying down, is a very, very important note when you look at the broader context of all of this, and the fact that after the coup that took place because of this, that is what sparks the increased aggression in the Donbass, and that is what also sparks the increased aggression against protesters in Odessa who were fighting back against the coup government.
You have no evidence to support any of that, that there was Western backing to any of these people, that any of this was a false flag. Everything you're going off of is complete conjecture. The testimony of one or two, I've got testimony in the United States of Bigfoot and UFOs abducting people. The testimonies of one or two people.
Yes.
Any of the claims that you're making.
That is exactly why it doesn't
Let's just actually go to U.S. involvement in this, because I have a lot of quotes from actual diplomats themselves.
Where is his answer?
They were involved in providing funding, direct funding to the Maidan coup organizers. So first of all, we have Victoria Nuland and Jeffrey Piot, who were two U.S. diplomats, U.S.-Ukrainian diplomats at the time, who have a viral leaked phone conversation admitting to the fact that they were handpicking the coup government.
And that conversation, where?
Yo, he just dodged that completely. He's like, you're not providing evidence. And he's like, okay, yeah, I have testimonies of Bigfoot and aliens, but it doesn't really necessarily mean that they actually exist. It's just somebody came out and they said, yo, I saw Bigfoot. Well, I saw Bigfoot. We can't go into somebody's mind and see what they saw. So therefore, you cannot confirm whether it's factual or not. Human beings lie, or at least have the potential to lie, and if it is in their own benefit, then they will probably lie. So you can't trust the words, you can't trust like claims that somebody makes without legitimate proof. It's like, okay, I'll explain it like this. Okay, so in this case scenario, one of them saying that there is legitimate proof of in the coup that took place in like 2004, I think they're talking about, or 2014, whatever the case is, and how he was unjustly that is unjustly removed from his position, and how it was all the work of Nazis. And, like, the Nazis in Ukraine make that happen. Okay, so if you wanted to prove that is the case, then what exactly did they do? Did they threaten his life? Like, did they hold a gun to his head? If that's the answer, well, do you have a picture of it? Do you have recordings of it, like CCTVs? Okay, no. Do you have, like, what else could be the case? Like, witnesses, thousands of witnesses, because obviously this is like happening in the middle of the streets, or if it's happening in private, who, like, you need, and the more evidence you have, the more it suggests like it's factual. But these guys are just like arguing, like there is no proof. It just drives me crazy, man. This is the problem with conspiracy theories. Like, it's the whole reason I, like, thankfully got out of that shit. And I was watching like some videos that I had made in the past. Like, I have a lot of fucking footage from my past, and I'm talking like 7-8 years ago past, where, let's just say, I went down quite a dark path in life, and I was not in a good place. I was lost. I was looking for reasons to basically live for. Like, what is not don't like take it in like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, no, not that. Okay, like, not like stepping over the edge or any of that shit. No. Like, that shit has, of course, it's crossed everybody's mind at some point, I think, in life, but never to the extent where I was like actually contemplating it. Or maybe once. Okay, twice. Whatever. No, it was just like I was in a really dark place. Like, I was looking for, like, what am I striving for in life? Because everything I thought life was about, it's not that. Which was like partying, women, like having a good time, and all of that good stuff, which I think nothing wrong with it, but it shouldn't be like your main focus in life. But I didn't know that at the time. I grew up thinking that was the end all be all. Wasn't. And so yeah, I went on a little bit of a mission. I went on a little bit of a mission that took me to some pretty dark places. And yeah. And most of the things were like conspiracy theories. So yeah. Anyway, be right back. It's just, you've got to ask questions, man. Like, I get the idea, like, you don't trust and you think like there's some kind of global agenda. Fine, but you've got to have proof. Some of it does make sense, and given that there is proof for it, it will be proven in the future. But you need proof. Just this idea that it can't be it can't be a coincidence. I too believe that there are some things that are just like, yo, that cannot be a coincidence. But then without proof, nothing stands. You can't be 100% bent on an idea without any legitimate proof. Anyway, be right back. honestly, what I want to do is I want to create a voice channel. And like when I'm talking about these topics on the Discord, I mean, anybody can join and like have a debate with me. Except, I don't know how that's gonna go down because I might get trolled and somebody might just come in to like throw out a bunch of slurs and get me banned or some shit like that, which is not ideal. But I would like to give that opportunity. Maybe I'll do it, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I should go ahead and do that, shouldn't I? Okay, let's get Discord open. Yo, my PC is gonna explode at this point. Like, there's no way. Like, this shit's running at like 50% memory. I don't know. Is that a problem? Probably should be. Okay, voice channel. Let's create one. Voice channel. Debate. Live debate. Live debate. I'm not even gonna bother writing no trolling because like that'll just like make people like, oh yeah, no trolling. I'm definitely gonna troll you now. So great chat. Okay. So anybody who wants to, oh, that's okay. I won't join it unless somebody else joins it. Like, if anybody wants to talk about it, they can. Like come into the fucking voice chat thingy. Yeah, so this is the Discord server. As you can see, pretty much nothing is set up. But everything's in place. Like I've got all the forums in place. That all works. Okay, let's get back to this. And I want to get some
No, 'cause I've already
add-ons.
read the entire conversation. They don't admit
And what
that
did that
ever.
conversation
They
say?
never said anything about hand-picking the new government. It wouldn't even make sense.
Really?
Yes, really. Give me the quote where
Okay,
they say
do you
that.
want me to- do
Yeah,
you
give me
want
the
me to
quote where
read
they
it for
say
you?
that. Yeah, read it.
Okay, we have a leaked phone call here. They said, fuck the EU, referencing to the fact that the EU was not being aggressive enough during this whole situation. And then we said, or we have Victoria Newland here say, Yachts, referring to Yatsenyuk, is the guy who's got the economic experience, she said. Referring to opposition leader Arseniy Yatsenyuk, who backed the devastating neoliberal policies that were demanded by the West. So they were discussing whether or not Yatsenyuk was going to be an effective leader in the new government, and they were saying, well, maybe this person should be directly outside of the new government with Yatsenyuk. And Destiny, guess who ended up becoming?
Hold on, real quick, because you keep pivoting, asking questions, adding commentary. None of this shows them picking a leader. As you said, Yatsenyuk was already the opposition leader. Where is this idea that they picked him?
Who became the prime minister?
For after? What do you mean?
After the coup.
Yatsenyuk?
Yeah.
Who was already the opposition?
Because he was the opposition
He was already the opposition leader. He already had 370 plus votes in the parliament. What do you mean?
Andrei Purby was the Maidan coup leader. He was the real.
No,
opposition
where is
leader
the
on ground.
evidence
So
that
why-
he was
why could
handpicked? How was he?
not
How was he
become- Why
handpicked?
could he have not become?
Wait, what? Because he didn't have the
He
backing in
became the-
parliament
he
for
became
it.
the chair of parliament.
No.
Why could he have not become?
No, you're pivoting. Where is the evidence that this guy was handpicked by the
Yeah.
United States? That he was pushed by the United States?
Victoria
A
Nuland.
conversation about this guy saying he would be.
Yeah, okay, so what Destiny's asking for is here, like, is there an email sent and it's been verified that it was sent from this person to that person? Okay, not even that. Like, what would be sufficient evidence to make that claim? It needs to be a step-by-step process. Like, the email came through, the email said at this time, like, step-by-step process of this needs to happen, and it needs to be from like high up officials from America. What else needs to be? Like a rigging of the election. Like, I'm not even too sure about how you would. Let's just see.
Good when he's already the opposition leader is not evidence of him being handpicked by the West.
Well, there was
that's
multiple
not a
people in
sign
that
that they're
conversation that they were
handpicking him.
going
Just
back
saying
and
he's-
forth.
Yeah, they're going back and forth
it's not- there's
discussing
no
potential. Yeah,
evidence.
you have no evidence. This is everything you do.
Just Destiny or
How is
sorry,
that no
Dylan.
evidence?
Wait.
if there's evidence in the phone call of two diplomats saying, "Man, this leader in this country would be so awesome," and yeah, that other one sucks. Do you think that's evidence of an assessment?
No, I agree with Destiny on that. If the phone call was like, yeah, we need to get this guy elected and this is how we're going to do it, this is the plan, and then if Jesus Christ, my ears, fuck you, CurseForge. Skip intro, fuck off. Jesus Christ, shit myself. And then you go into history and you see that things did unfold exactly that way, then that would be, I think, sufficient evidence, possibly.
It just so happens, Destiny, that she admitted that the U.S. Stoked this coup with $5 billion in previous years to lead these regime change operations.
Wait, where did she admit that? Where did she admit that? Read that quote. Read that quote. Read that quote where she admit that.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
Give me 1 second here.
Can we all sit in silence while he reads and wait for it? I want to hear that quote where she says, "The United States sent $5 billion in aid to stoke this coup."
Yeah.
Let me pull it up.
And if he pulls it up, will you admit you're wrong?
Yeah, if he has that quote, I would be interested in hearing that. We don't have to be silent. I'm sorry, Dylan. Go ahead.
Give me 1 second. I will read
exactly where the $5 billion went. I would be interested in that too.
In the meantime, folks, our guests are linked in the description. If you haven't already clicked on there, you can hear more from them.
Also, I would just like to say that there's tons of evidence of the Chechen government putting gays in concentration camps from multiple news outlets.
Well, that's not what we're debating today. The only thing.
But the thing is, you disputed it. You disputed it, so I'm just acknowledging.
Yeah. Well, we can debate that another time. But for now, what we're saying is that is not the same as Nazism.
Okay, but is that of concern? Do you think?
If I was Chechen, I would be opposed to it, but I don't live in Chechnya. It's not my business.
So, do you think that fighters who put gay people in concentration camps should be active in combat in Ukraine?
You cannot make the racist claim that all Chechen.
No. I'm not saying all Chechen soldiers.
He never said that.
No, there are officials who were involved in that fighting in Ukraine right now.
Which ones?
You know the one that you're like, Dylan, you liar, you've said this guy died.
That guy is alive.
That guy, right? Yeah, you're saying he's alive. That guy, he specifically was I'm saying that guy. Let's say he's alive. That makes your argument even worse. That guy was involved in putting homosexuals in concentration camps.
Okay, I haven't seen any evidence for that.
There's tons of evidence for it.
Something
not be disputed.
In case you have that quote, Jackson, I don't want you to feel left out.
Yeah, but he's again, like even Dylan's saying there's plenty of evidence. Where's the evidence? Like, provide it. I know, I understand there's plenty of it. I'm not doubting his claim, but where is the evidence? Like, it would be cool if he could like say this is where the evidence is, or at least head us in the right direction, I guess.
Yeah. So Victoria Nuland, U.S. Assistant Secretary of State, estimated in 2013 that the USA had, quote, invested more than $5 billion in 1991 to help Ukraine achieve the future it deserves. Or sorry, since 1991. Since
1991, they've been investing money to have the coup in 2014. Do you not think that the Ukrainian citizens
do you understand the context of that year?
What was the quote again? Can you say it one more time?
Yeah, let's hear the quote again.
Since the USA had invested more than $5 billion since 1991 to help Ukraine achieve the future it deserves.
What does that mean?
Well, yeah, what does that mean, bro? That's very subjective.
Hey, we're giving the money to help Ukraine get better.
Victoria Nuland had leaked audio recordings handpicked Yatsenyuk as the new leader. And also, we saw that
that is such a stretch.
The National Endowment for Democracy's president said this about U.S. support. He said just 2 months before the Maidan protest broke out, he wrote that, quote, the opportunities are considerable and there are important ways Washington could help. And this was in reference to the coup. This was the president of the National Endowment for Democracy.
There's nothing specific. It's all vague. It's nothing specific.
So here's the question. Wait, where did the money?
$5 million go?
Yeah, where did the $5 billion go? Yeah. So who received the money?
Good question.
It's not the goalpost. This is where we're at. We're in the middle of the field. Like,
the thing is, I know
you're
about
shifting the fucking goalposts. He read
Putin
you the
said
quote,
exactly. Putin said this specific thing. And the thing is, the $5 billion did not go anywhere near a coup aid or anything. The $5 billion.
Where did it go then, Dylan?
So I know I'm asking you. You
just give it?
Yo, the coup happened in like 2004. Like they were starting to receive this funding from like 91. There was a bunch of fucking shit that happened from 91 to 2004 and then 2014, which is the actual claim that they're making. Yo,
no, I'm asking you, Jackson. Jackson, you said the $5 billion. No, Jackson,
where do you think $5 billion? Where do you think $5 billion from the U.S. State Department went?
Jackson, you said it. You said it.
I get it.
You can pretty easily logically infer that the fuck.
Okay, pardon my interruption. Just to be sure that people can hear each of you make your point. So, just going in order, we'll go alphabetically, which is DHJ. So okay, Dylan, and then Haas, and then Jackson.
So Jackson, you talked about the $5 billion. We're saying it did not go towards a coup. I don't see no evidence of this. This is something Putin repeated in his speech, which is a lie. So I'm asking you, since you referenced the $5 billion and you have yet to show any evidence that anybody was handpicked, where did it go? Where did this $5 billion go for this coup?
So Dylan, I know you're a fucking dumbass and you can't put two and two together here. There is logically nowhere else the $5 billion could have gone.
So you don't know. You don't know.
I can think of a number of places.
You couldn't have gone anywhere else.
$5 billion from 1990. Wait. Do you know the history of Ukrainian-American relations since 1994 to 2014?
Yeah, Dylan,
you really
shut the fuck
think
up. Let me finish
that
my
$5 billion couldn't have gone there in normal aid?
Unless Jackson has something.
You don't think?
Yeah,
Jackson, I'm gonna give you a chance so you're not left out.
Yeah, let him leave like a little bit.
Oh, you might be on mute, Jackson. Let me unmute you. I think I put you on there earlier. Okay.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yo, what the fuck is Auctionator? Auctionator. Auctionator is designed for casual, everyday auction house users. Okay, so it's for the auction house specifically. That's not what we want. I think what I want is like TSM. And what was the other one called? Loot Appraiser. Was it Loot Appraiser? Loot Appraiser? Faster loot. Personal loot helper. Which one was the one with the challenges, man? Yeah, Alex, get Andoni in here. Yo, Alex, are you there, bro? Hey, where's Andoni? I need his help, man. What do I download? I've totally lost the plot here. Give me a second, guys. I gotta figure this shit out now. YouTube's not gonna help me. Well, it could. Let's get rid of all of this. I think it was like TSM. Okay, TSM was used and it gives you like the estimated prices. But which one was the one with like that gave you like the challenges and you could like loot something loot what was it? Loot Appraiser. Oh, maybe it's this one then. Is this it? I think it's it. I want that picture. That seems familiar. Yeah, but that's TSM. That's not what I want. Why is it showing trade skill master? Yeah, that's all TSM. Why are you showing me only TSM? That's stupid. Loot appraiser. Oh. Yes, this is the one. Okay, cool. Wait, no, that's wrong button. Install. Yeah, I want loot appraiser. Wait, technically, oh yeah, loot appraiser needs TSM to work, doesn't it? Update. Recently updated. My add-ons. Awesome. Okay, what about TSM? How do I get TSM on here? I think it's like TSM and then Trade Skill Master. Our add-on is the best of the best when it comes to making gold in World of Warcraft. Everything related is made fast and easy. This includes crafting, buyout, tracking, sales, managing inventory, and much more. Desktop application. Desktop application gives you access to powerful out-of-game features which seamlessly integrate with the add-on. Features include automatic auction data downloading, which eliminates the need for in-game scans of the auction house. Sign in. I remember I had an account somewhere. I'm gonna have to like
the Financial Times, you're right, Dylan. Sure, I don't have
One
the exact
second.
bank wire transfers and shit.
Let me
You're
just
right.
log into
I'm
here.
just completely making all this stuff up. Financial Times, though, reported that groups like New Citizen received this funding, and they reported that this money played a big role in getting the protests up and running, referring to the Maidan protests. This was led, of course, by
select the ROM
Andrei
above to
Parubiy,
view your
who's a
dashboard.
notorious neo-Nazi within Ukraine that called upon the firing of protesters and police in the protests. There was one other point you made. It's slipping my mind right now, but yeah, I mean that
My account.
sure, we don't have the exact bank wire transfers, but you can't entertain the fact that this all happened. $5 billion here. We have these phone recordings. We have all of this going on. We have
ROM
Chris Murphy,
selection.
John McCain, Victoria Nuland, Jeffrey Piot going out on the streets of Maidan, passing out cookies to the protesters.
He's doing the Gish
Wait,
Gallop.
let me finish. Let me
Oh my
finish.
God,
because you
dude, it's just a
literally
million
throw a
bullshit
fit
points.
every
Like when
time.
one falls apart.
You literally
15 more
throw a
seconds,
fit.
Jackson,
You
and
throw
then
a
we
fit
gotta
every time
move.
I get interrupted or you interrupt. So let me finish. You cannot entertain, or you have to entertain the fact rather that the funding began in 1991. 1 year directly after the effort upon NATO-aligned countries to bring Ukraine into NATO, that lines up perfectly with what the overarching mission at play here is of Victoria Nuland, to get the anti-NATO forces within Ukraine deposed from government, that's Yanukovych, and to get pro-NATO individuals in government to join NATO.
Gotta move it over. Okay.
So I gotta respond to that, because the thing is, it's also 1 year after the collapse of the Soviet Union and Ukraine went into economic ruin. And the $5 billion is something Putin stated as well. That's referencing to the entirety of U.S. aid to Ukraine from that date to 2014. So you're telling me that the entirety of U.S. aid to Ukraine was made up of just going to coup stuff when you have no evidence, no financial documents, no transactions, no direct evidence of any sort, that any of that went towards resources towards a coup. It is reference to aid.
He named it.
No, he didn't. He named nothing.
You
I named New
left because you're a
Citizen.
little bitch. You weren't here.
No,
and
he
named
didn't.
it.
So where did it go? Where did it go? And what did the coup? What did this group do that did the revolution? What did it do?
Helped organize the protest. It was a group
What
that
the
helped
five?
organize
So the $5
protest.
billion went to what? What?
So
Say it.
I'm saying that Financial Times reported, again,
What?
you're right, I don't have the exact wire transfers. I'm not in these people's bank accounts. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
but
it's
you
a little bit
need them to be
suspicious
making
that
those
we have-
claims.
We have Victoria Nuland.
How can you be making these claims without having that fucking? It's like you're saying, "Oh, this is what's happening," but yeah, can you prove it? No. Great, brilliant. Okay, so TSM. All right, let's see. Is this the one I need? Trade Skill Master. Screenshot. Sure. Install. I know this shit takes up like a lot of fucking space on in the game. But I want it. Download Windows. Let's see. Open. Like, my PC is gonna explode. Like, there's no way, bro. Next. Browse. Next. Install. Finish. My add-ons. Trade Skill Master and Loot Appraiser. Okay, I should have both now. I don't know where it's at. Maybe it's here. I see Overwolf. I see CurseForge. I don't see Trade Skill Master. Okay, I'll exit game because anyway I need to exit game. TSM application. Okay. Can you guys see this? Yeah, you can.
Saying that we have $5 billion going to Ukraine since 1991. Victoria Nuland's office happens to be the same office in which the National Endowment for Democracy is located. They share an office in Ukraine. We have Financial Times reporting that New Citizen received some of this money. Sure, probably, definitely not all $5 billion of it. And it just so happens that these protests, which were Western-backed, and we know according to this phone call, they were at least sympathetic to the, leader Yatsenyuk, who became the prime minister directly after the protests. This stuff all lines up, and it just
hold on, wait, I gotta respond. I gotta respond. Okay, so yeah, so we haven't established a single fact. We literally haven't established a single fact. We haven't established a single fact. So all we've seen is that since in 1992, after the dissolution of the Soviet Union, the United States and Ukraine signed a bilateral deal with the United States, which sent aid to Ukraine to help them for a variety of things. They identified 3 strategic objectives. It was to create a broad-based market economy, to help build a participatory democratic political system, and to assist in social sector reforms to ease the difficulties of transition. That's where the money went towards. The government themselves, the governments themselves were the ones that were organizing and receiving the aid. The idea that you're trying to pretend that this $5 billion that's been allocated since 1992 somehow went through black market channels. If it did, then we wouldn't be talking about the $5 billion that the United States said that it sent. This would be black money or dark money that's going through other channels that you wouldn't have any idea about. Or rather, it would have been established by like a WikiLeaks leak or something like that. The idea that official U.S. aid that was agreed upon by the Ukrainian government, that it was going to end up in the Ukrainian government, and then somehow the leaders in the Ukrainian government decided to allow that aid that they as a government agreed to accept to be funneled to groups that would eventually form a coup is ridiculous. A lot of this aid was far-reaching. It wouldn't surprise me if you could identify 1 or 2 groups that were involved in protests or coups that received this aid. Yanukovych probably had a lot of personal friends and probably people in the government that received that aid as well. The idea that that aid was used to back some sort of coup because you have a recording with 2 U.S. diplomats talking about a preference in leadership in a relatively volatile country, I don't understand why you think you can link these 2 things together. I can tell you right now that the United States sends so much aid all across the world, I could probably find aid going to every single fucking country that's ever had a revolution, that's ever had a coup, that's ever had any sort of political turmoil, and find 2 U.S. diplomats talking, expressing a. Can I finish one statement? I gotta finish. I gotta finish a single. I have to finish a single statement.
Nothing else.
I have to finish a single statement.
So finally,
to be clear, so the evidence we have is that since 1992, the United States has sent $5 billion to the Ukrainian government, not to secret groups, not to protest groups, not to future coups. That the Ukrainian government itself okayed this bilateral agreement to humanitarian aid, and the only evidence that we have, and the only evidence that let me finish. The only evidence we have that this went to fund a coup is 2 U.S. diplomats talking on the phone, expressing a preference for some leadership or failure of the EU to act on something. That's it.
Okay, let me go now. Lana, okay? Because this is actually really fucking simple. So first of all, there's like many prongs to the fucking stupidity you just laid on my fucking table. Now, the first thing is that you actually contradicted your little friend Dylan here, because Dylan the fucking liar just sat here and said that the $5 billion was an economic aid to Ukraine. No, it fucking wasn't. Because Nuland herself, who publicly denies funding the Maidan coup, in the same sentence she utters denying it, said that the $5 billion since 1991 was there to promote democracy. And you know what that fucking means? It means promoting NGOs, civil society groups, and forces within the Ukrainian government that are aligned with the US. Now, you're trying to make this allegation. You know, it's absurd that they would fund the Ukrainian government that's later going to be overthrown. The thing is, the whole of the Ukrainian government was
Let's fucking
There are
go.
elements within the Ukrainian
Put
government that were
TSM on.
against the president at that time. The coup was actually against the president, not the entire Ukrainian state itself. And even during the presidency of Yanukovych, before the 2014 Maidan, there was still a division of spheres of influence within the Ukrainian government between the Americans and the Europeans on one hand and the Russians. It was not a Russian puppet government by any stretch of the fucking imagination. It was still just as divided. And that $5 billion that was given to the Ukrainians since 1991 was going toward the forces that ultimately would culminate in the Maidan. Now, Jackson literally gave you a concrete fucking example.
I could give another too, Haas.
I want to respond.
Of a group that received funds from this $5 billion, that participated, that was pivotal for it helped organize protests for the fucking Maidan. So the whole point is that this $5 billion for regime change and democracy exporting that the U.S. was giving the Ukrainian government, which I reiterate, Dylan the fucking liar claimed was economic aid when it was not.
Oh, really?
It was political influence.
So can I get a commitment on it? Can you give me a commitment that none of this money went to economic aid?
No, you're shifting the goalpost.
Wait, no,
You're
I want to
saying-
hear it. Oh,
You're shifting the
That's
goalpost.
yo,
Some of it
you're
was
making a
an
claim, bro.
economic component to it,
Hold on.
but it was primarily to promote
Gotta finish up the
democracy.
sentence.
You
Okay.
made it
Go
seem
ahead,
like it
Dylan.
was
I'm gonna-
primarily
okay.
about economic
So,
aid.
number
when it
one,
was not.
that's not
Dylan's
even
been waiting
true.
a long time.
Okay, that's not even
Oh,
true.
it's not true?
So yeah, number one, 1.1 billion of it went to economic growth. 2.4 billion went to things like military assistance, border security, human trafficking issues, international narcotics abatement, law enforcement induction. That's
I'll let
actually the
Jackson
majority
take
of
it
it.
away.
The majority of that is not promoting democracy. It would actually be labeled under promoting peace and security when you talk about things like human trafficking, which is a
Then
legitimate.
tell Newland
Let me
that yourself.
Let me finish. I'm just telling you the exact money amounts, where it's going, and you're rejecting it. I'm telling you exact money. And the thing is about that, human trafficking, it's after the collapse of the Soviet Union, there was a lot of issues when it comes to children being sold into sexual slavery. There was a lot of issues with
Which the CIA is involved with.
Hold on.
Bro, he can't just keep screaming into his microphone, jacked up as loud as possible. Like, you know,
You wanna cry about?
I'm trying.
Thank you.
Okay.
Jesus.
So back to the issue. This is why a lot of this money went to Ukraine. It went to things to deal with things like human trafficking. It went there to deal with economic aid after the economic collapse post-Soviet Union. Some of it, of course, some of it went to 800 million of it went to governing justly and democratically, and 400 million went to investing in people. We can get into specifics if you want to break that down, but there is no evidence in the $5 billion of the $5 billion, any of this going into black sites or anything of this sort. The majority of this money didn't even have to do with democracy necessarily.
We gotta go into Q&A shortly, but I know that Jackson, I think you wanted to say something.
So yeah, I would like to say something. So we also have the fact that at the start of the Maidan protests, the 3 new TV shows in Ukraine, that news TV shows that were covering the protests and working with opposition, were Hromadsky.tv, and there was 2 other ones. Let me see if I can find these here.
You're running a new
But
version of the
while I
game and have
find these, I also
interface
wanna note
modifications which
that,
are out
these
of
3
date.
TV stations received funding from the Dutch and U.S. embassies, as well as the Renaissance Foundation, which was funded by George Soros. The other 2 were Spilno.tv and Eknepeco TV. I don't know how to pronounce that. And George Soros, during the coup, the Maidan coup himself, admitted, quote, "I set up a foundation in Ukraine before Ukraine became independent of Russia, and the foundation has been functioning ever since, and it played an important part in the Maidan events right now. And then the third point, because again, you've alleged that I can't provide evidence for this, I've also provided the New Citizen organization, which was involved in the coup. We also have Yevhen Karas, who is the leader of Ukraine's neo-Nazi terror gang, C-14, which again helped lead the coup. He was the guy who said that if it were not for the 2% of neo-Nazis that were active within the Maidan protests, it would have been 90% less effective and successful. He said, quote, "We are now being given money, so much weapons, not because as some say the West is helping us, not because they want the best for us, but because we perform the tasks by the West, because we are the only ones who are ready to do, because we're the only ones who are ready to do them, because we have fun killing, and we have fun fighting, and they like, wow, let's see what's gonna happen." That's what they said.
Can I do a thing, because we're going into Q&A soon? Let's actually say, if Dylan will allow me, let's actually grant all of this. Let's say that there was a coup. Let's say that there was some revolution for some reason. Future leadership is still maintaining a lot of popularity.
That's so strange. It's saying that TSM is working, but it's not actually working.
What right does that give Russia to invade Ukraine?
Oh, that's very simple. We should have gotten that for the start. So we talked about the balance of security architecture within Europe, which Ukraine was planning on upsetting with its plans to fucking join NATO.
Okay, trade skill master is a dependency. Okay.
Which is why Russia kept trying to negotiate with its Western partners for some 8-9 years about this issue, leading to fucking nowhere, to the point where they finally tried to negotiate with Ukraine also about the issue of the Donbass to settle a peace. And Ukraine signed the Minsk agreement to have a ceasefire in the Donbass. As recent as January of 2022, Ukraine made it very clear that it had no intention to implement the Minsk agreement, which said that they would lead to the destruction of our country, and we had to sign it at gunpoint by Russia. Now, finally, Ukraine's continued attacks against the people of the Donbass, what amounts to basically a genocide, the constant shelling of civilian infrastructure, and the daily terrorism experienced by the people of the Donbass by Ukraine's armed forces in the Azov battalion. Russia decided to step in finally and recognize the republics. And when those republics became sovereign in Russia's eyes, and Russia did this by
Wait, can we do this simply instead of rambling about the entire history of the we're gonna ramble the whole
when those republics continued to be shelled and attacked after they were recognized.
He's just sprouting up history. Yeah, he does this every time he can't answer a question. He just he has to talk about every single thing he knows.
Russia is justified. Russia is justified for no other reason than to protect and guarantee its own security as a country, as well.
So my question then is, as well
as to protect the people of the Donbass.
So my question is, why does the security of Russia supersede the security of the Ukrainian people? When you open this with the quote about how the security of one country,
because the security of the Ukrainian people was never under threat by Russia. It's NATO who is tipping its balance in.
How is the security of Russia under threat by NATO?
How is the security of Russia under threat? No, sure, NATO has a history of disrespecting the sovereignty of other countries and invading other countries.
Like Russia does right now with Ukraine?
This is a fucking self-fulfilling prophecy. Russia's doing what it's doing in Ukraine to prevent NATO aggression against Russia. Russia has no plan on...
And to stop him there... Okay, we have to get something clear, like, because this is not about him. Like, I cannot get on his side. Like, he's a fucking maniac, obviously. This guy who's just shouting all the time. NATO expansion. Like, the whole idea is the Americas are trying to get as many people into NATO as possible, which gives them more leverage over the rest of the world, gives them a lot more power, blah, 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 blah. I get it. That is NATO expansion. But that is expansion of all countries by any stretch of the imagination. Russia is incentivized to take as many countries and put it under their wing as the leader. And so is China, so is America, and so is every other country in the world. The Brits did it fucking 200, 300 years ago. Then the French did it before them. The Spanish did it before them. The Americans have been doing it for the last 100 years. Like, that is just the course of history, and that is the end goal. Like, it's like playing a fucking game of Monopoly. If I own every single piece of land, I win. Is this not like common sense to everybody? So therefore, this whole idea of NATO expansion, was there something in specifically speaking, that NATO did to directly threaten the safety of Russia. The thing that I'm always leaning towards, and why I always say that America put his nose where it doesn't belong and NATO is really a fucking issue, is the fact that, as far as I know, I could be wrong. I would like to know. I've done research, and that's why I believe these things, is that, or that I know these things for a fact, is that has always been Russia's red line, Ukraine. It's like, don't cross us that line. You're not becoming our neighbors, basically. That's saying to NATO. Like, you can look at like the map. It's like Russia, China, then there's like a strip. There's a strip of countries which are like, you can think of them as a border. And Ukraine is directly connected to Russia. And if NATO were to, so the idea was Ukraine going to go into Europe. And obviously that's a problem for Russia, because whether it's Europe or America, that makes no difference. It's not Russia. And therefore, Russia has a problem with that and has always stated for like since the fucking 60s, that is our red line, don't cross it. And well, NATO basically said, we are opening our doors, which is basically we are open to conversations of accepting Ukraine into NATO, which was basically a declaration of, well, if Ukraine accepts, which there are reasons to believe that it would accept that, because it would give them protection against Russia, or any other country that tries to harm it, I guess, apart from NATO itself. There's reasons to believe that Ukraine would want to enter NATO, because they didn't get into Europe, so they want to be a part of NATO. And therefore, Russia had a problem with that. And that's why I said that that is the one thing the Americans did, which was this happened in like November, December of 21, which was like 1-2 months before the war started last year, which basically provocated, as far as I can tell, which I have reason to believe, the Russians into saying, okay, was that like a shit, let's fucking get up in arms, let's kill everybody kind of scenario? No. But was it a good enough excuse to put forward to start this invasion? Because, well, now I'm not just going to leave that country there to just like rest our future on. I'm going to actually take over the country, because now I can use it as leverage. I can use it as a shield to prevent you getting closer to Russia. That's always how I've looked at it. Oh, when they say NATO expansion, like, I am kind of sold on that idea in that sense, and I think that America and NATO are incentivized to welcome Ukraine into NATO, and they are strategically incentivized to do so. And I think that Russia is strategically incentivized to take over Ukraine. So I think that's where I stand with that scenario. Let's see what this is.
So why can't Ukraine have legitimate
Russia
security?
doesn't export its system or its values. NATO does. It's that
Russia, the Soviet Union absolutely has in the past, and Russia's absolutely looking forward to the future.
Russia is not the Soviet Union, and second of all, the Soviet Union did not fucking export its system by military force. No, it didn't.
It absolutely did.
No, it fucking didn't.
Absolutely
Name a single example of that.
All three of the Baltics, at the very least.
The Baltics were not taken by the Soviet Union to expand its system, but because it was a form of revanchism for the former territories of the Russian Empire.
The countries were invaded, had their parliament disposed of, and then took votes and held referendums to join the Soviet Union. Sounds similar? Like Crimea. The Soviet Union has a huge history of doing
Public referendum, 96%.
Yeah, not crazy how after you get invaded, crazy.
What the?
Hold on, wait. I can't even finish my question.
We continue to say that it was.
I can't even finish my question.
I have to
cannot say that.
I just spoken for a while.
Let me quickly finish this point about Crimea. 15 seconds. First of all, the people of Crimea made the decision first.
I do want to.
Then the Russian military came.
Come on.
Dylan's been waiting for a long time. I do want
They declared independence before.
Okay, so what's really interesting about the Crimea thing is we keep bringing up the referendum. Jackson, can you tell me what were the options on the referendum?
Oh, the two choices.
They declared independence before the
Wait, no, Jackson, could you answer that question quick?
They declared independence before.
No, I'm asking Jackson a question. I didn't ask. What were the two options?
1 second, guys. I want to get rid of some shit on here because it seems like it's lagging up my remove. Bear with me a second. It seems like my PC is like going in fucking overload. And I want to see if any of this shit is affecting it. No, it doesn't seem like it. The CPU usage has gone down, but not enough for me to be okay. We're still at 50% CPU usage. Okay, it's coming down. I don't want to get rid of any of these. Is that helping? That's not helping. Like minimizing it, getting rid of it is not helping. Okay, just leave it like that. Okay, yeah, back to
What
it.
were the options on the referendum? What were the options on the referendum? What were the two options? What were the two options? Answer my question. What were the two
I don't
options?
care how you want to construe it. 96%
No,
declared
answer my question.
to join the
What were the two
Federation.
options?
It was legal.
What were the
And
two options?
The Crimean government
You're not
voted,
answering my
in
question.
favor of
Dylan,
joining
it
the
was 'cause they
Federation.
Can you make him answer my question?
Earlier
James,
on,
can you make him answer my question?
Hold on, all right.
He's not gonna answer my question. He's dodging it.
Russian
Okay, so the reason,
that it's
Sheesh.
it's my time to talk. If he's not answering my
Just for a
question.
second. Okay, so I do want to give. I want to go back to Dylan. We'll give him a chance, and then we'll give you a chance to answer the question. Jackson, Infra, I've got.
They had already declared independence.
As I say, I've got you on mute.
Okay,
Give me a break here.
So the reason why Jackson isn't answering my question is because the two options, neither of them was joining back with Ukraine. So there was
Because they already chose not to do that.
Shut up, please. Jesus Christ. So the reason why a lot of people, including like
God, he's a
Crimean
fucking
Tatars
child, this
and
guy.
others, boycotted.
Not this guy. This guy.
Jeez Louise.
The reason why. The reason why.
They had already declared independence before.
James, I can't do it, man.
You can't because you're They declared independence before elections came. They overtly rejected government.
He's muting himself. All right, well, let's go to Dylan.
I didn't.
Get a question.
Yeah, I didn't. I never got to finish.
Liar!
I didn't even get to say what I'm lying about. You didn't even let me
give him a
lie yet.
chance.
I'm about
Because
to lie.
they had already declared independence.
Come on.
Let me lie. Okay, let me tell my evil Western lies, and then okay, and then you can like talk later. Okay. So my evil Western lie is that neither of the options on the referendum was to join Ukraine. It was A, join Russia formally, or B, be an independent state heavily influenced by the Russian government.
Is that what it
Those
said,
were the
Dylan?
two.
Is that
that's
exactly
not
what it
That's
said?
not the exact words. It was a lot.
You're
okay.
fucking
James,
such a
let me get this
bullshit.
point and I'll stop interrupting.
Jackson, I never. James,
Bullshitted
if
about
I can't talk,
impeachment.
I can't talk. I can't debate if I
Bullshitted
can't.
about the snipers.
James, I
You're
can't debate if
bullshitting
I
about
can't even talk.
Crimea.
Sheesh, bro. Holy fuck. Difficult, man.
I can't.
All right, what was? Okay, hold on. What was the question that you had, Dylan? That we do have.
I don't even have a question anymore. I'm just trying to say something, and they won't let
Just
me.
let me
because
get
what I'm saying is
1 point
uncomfortable
in
for them.
We'll
15
take
No,
the
I don't
opportunity
care.
and say it.
Dylan,
I'm not making.
Give me 15 seconds. Give me 15 seconds.
You
Is that,
couldn't
to be
answer
fair
the
to
question.
Dylan, he has
Look at
waited a long
Destiny.
time. Dylan will give you a quick pithy
So,
response, and we gotta go Q&A.
Jackson did not know what the two options on the referendum was. That's why he wouldn't answer my question, or it was inconvenient to him. But neither of the options was whether
Whoa,
Ukraine
we have
could join
TSM,
back
boys.
with Ukraine. And the problem is that I don't care, Has. Please, for the love of God.
They had already formally declared.
Okay, we're going to the Q&A.
Wait,
No, James, let me get this last point in. I've been trying to get in this fucking.
I never got to
Okay,
finish.
let me get one last.
No.
10 seconds.
Constantly.
Just give me
You've been
seconds. 10 seconds.
constantly difficult.
Give me 10 seconds.
No, just find a way to fit it into one of these questions. This one coming in from Ozzy and Talk says, Putin destroyed Russia, and there is no way back from them without Putin's stepping down and Russia apologizing, European Union should
Yikes.
join NATO. Putin will go down in history as an example of one of the worst global leaders ever. Save the kids.
Yeah, no.
One addition, Russia should also pay reparations.
Yeah. I'll answer that question very easily. So Crimea had already declared its formal
Wait, that
independence.
wasn't the question. That was not the question.
Shut the fuck up, you little bitch.
No,
Crimea had already declared.
okay,
Crimea,
we have to keep this civil. Okay.
Crimea had already declared formal independence before the referendum.
Could they do that under the Ukrainian constitution?
They didn't need to because it was overthrown in a coup. The Ukrainian president was overthrown in an illegal coup. So the
what you're
Constitution is in the air and it's out of the fucking window, you fucking dumbass.
So the Constitution matters for thee, but not
When there's a coup.
Oh my god, bro.
Dylan, do you think that
Not when there's a coup.
That's interesting.
James, why do you keep fucking fucking me, but you let
sovereignty of a given
Very
you let it
interesting.
10 minutes, but you keep letting me let Dylan talk
Yo, this guy has fucking issues. Holy fuck, bro.
once.
Do you think that a coup violates
You don't fucking mute him once. Let me fucking
Can I? Oh, wait.
The Constitution is thrown into the air.
Just kick him.
When there's a fucking illegal coup.
You gotta kick him.
I would like to
His timetable isn't even accurate. The Declaration of Independence for Crimea took place after.
literally acting like a coup doesn't violate the sovereignty of a given.
Wait, real quick. Just because Haas keeps screaming this, the Declaration of Independence from Crimea happened after the Russian invasion. The fact that he's trying to say that it happened prior to that isn't even true. Russian troops were on the ground in February. In late February, Russia was pushing into Crimea. The Declaration of Independence was on March 16th.
What does it mean pushing into Crimea? Go ahead.
As in, Russian troops rolled through the area with little resistance and took over the entire fucking peninsula.
I wonder why there was little resistance, because they had already expressed and declared their intention to be fucking independent.
Even if they had, sections of your country cannot just vote themselves to join another country that has military bases in that peninsula aggressively positioned to go and invade you. It doesn't work that way. That's not how sovereignty works.
Can I
did it at
vote
gunpoint,
to join
right?
another
It was at
debate?
gunpoint.
Can we do that?
This one coming in from Can Fight says, just got
Wait, I never got to respond to Jackson's question about sovereignty. I want to answer it.
super short and pithy.
Region market
Okay,
value
so Jackson
average.
asked me if a coup violates a nation's sovereignty. It depends on who actually does the coup. If the people of said nation overthrow the government, I believe they're allowed to do that. And so
Vendor
that's what they
price,
did in that
global
instance,
sale
because the
average.
Yanukovych regime was morally corrupt and worked
Region
against the interests
historic
of the people. Sorry, there you go.
price market value average. Yeah, that's the one we want.
Can Fight
That's not how coups work.
The majority.
Display.
They had an election. They had an election after.
There wasn't even a majority that wanted to join the EU.
They had an
Not even
election
at the
afterwards.
time.
I think we need another mute here on the Moscow Manlet,
So you're
please.
saying that now they have a
Hey,
majority?
you little
Gentlemen,
bitch
I hate
ass
to do this with both of
gnome.
you, but both Dylan and Haas, I've got you on mute because we do have to get the next question.
Destiny his torso is big though. He's short. He looks like a fucking torso bro.
This one coming in from Can
He
Fight.
just has a long torso.
Gosh.
He looks
Okay,
like
Can
Sid
Fight
from
says
Ice
just
Age. He has
got
the body of Sid from Ice Age. He has the body of Sid from Ice Age.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to become a comedian or something. Like, is that what he's going for?
Can Fight says, just got posterity. Russia just attacked the largest nuclear power plant in Europe. A violation of the Geneva Convention. Also, Russia has a huge Nazi problem. In parentheses, Limonov literally made Nazbols. You know I have trouble pronouncing these.
Are we allowed to answer that question? Are we allowed to answer that question? Or who is that question? Who's that question addressed to?
Can we answer?
Limonov is an anarchist. Have you read anything by Limonov, you fucking dumbass, asking that question?
Like,
Can
it's
we answer
like
the
you're
question?
flipping the bat switch and you're drowning everybody else out. Your audio is just off the charts. I'll give you a chance to respond in front of Jackson, but it's just that your audio.
Why is it that I feel like we should be condemning crimes against humanity and war crimes on both sides of this? That's why I support the International Criminal Court investigation into war crimes that have taken place here since 2013, which the media seems to be leaving out of the announcement of this ICC investigation and the preliminary examination into war crimes and crimes against humanity here. But the thing is, if you're going to talk about war crimes and crimes against humanity and civilian casualties taking place right now in Ukraine, then you better be talking about them taking place in Donetsk and Luhansk still today, and the ones that have taken place there overwhelmingly in this conflict that has been waged asymmetrically by Ukraine, by the Azov Battalion in particular in eastern Ukraine, since 2014. People seem to leave that out.
Yeah, wait, can we all agree that that would be a good idea then? I think that Russia should pull its troops and respect Ukraine's sovereignty, and then after they do that, we can have an independent investigation to see if there were any human rights abuses committed.
The 25th of February, protesters blocked the Crimean parliament
Who started
and
this,
expressed
Destiny?
their will to be independent. So that was before the
Wait, that's
Russian
not even on
invasion.
topic anymore. You're still
according to
rambling
the
about the
preliminary examination led by the International Criminal Court, who launched the first war crimes and crimes against humanity here in this conflict?
I want to actually address two things.
Oh, that was a question for Destiny.
But I wanted to. Can I
Because
agree
you
with
made
you?
a
I'm trying to.
statement. That was a
I'm trying
question for Destiny.
Jackson, I want to agree with you.
Destiny, who did it?
Can I? Okay, I won't agree with you then. Okay.
Destiny, who did it? Do you even know? Do you even know what the first war crimes or crimes against humanity committed here were?
We should let independent organizations go in and
fucking
investigate.
dumbass. You don't
We should let nothing that you're saying justifies a
you
Russian
didn't know the
invasion.
Crimean
It's so easy. It's so
Come in
easy.
here and debate this?
It's so easy.
Stick to whatever fucking
It's so
Minecraft
it's
bullshit
so
you spend hours
easy. It's
playing
so
every single
easy.
day.
Yeah, go quote random U.S. diplomats that you saw
Ooh,
on an RT post about how that proves that there was like Western involvement in a coup.
The International Criminal Court investigation into war crimes, which you claim to care about, but only
What does every single international court say about what is every what does every single international court say about Russia's annexation of Crimea?
What does the international?
No, let him answer. Let him answer that. Let him answer that. Let him answer that. Let him answer that.
Oh, that's a
1 second, guys. Be right back. Okay, not gonna lie, I don't know how much more of this I can take because it kind of seems like they've gone into questions now. It's kind of boring at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and try and find something else to watch because yeah, it's a bit cancer. Not even just a bit. It's like very cancerous.
I knew this.
Oh no, not this one again. Let's see.
a great question.
Property.
I knew this should have been off camera. It's like you get on camera, you gotta what, prove something?
Okay, hold on. Firstly, I don't think I've ever even talked to you off camera before, have I?
I messaged you saying I think it'd be more appropriate if I talked to you off camera.
Okay, but
if you
hold on.
want
But why are you assuming on camera? Why would you assume it would be different?
Maybe you're putting on a persona. I don't know. You just got in attack mode. Yeah, you owe me an apology. You can watch this back and feel like a piece of. Got it. Ta-da.
What is this godforsaken fucking program?
I'll go live now.
Oh my god.
And then when you just join, I'll add Jen. Yay. I still can't hear anything though.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Okay, this is obviously a me problem. Hello.
Hello?
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Holding.
Why can't I hear you?
Test.
Keep talking.
Bro, this shit is so laggy. Holy shit.
What did I do?
What are we in right now? It's a Mac thing? I thought Mac and PC use like the same programs now. What year is it?
Keep talking.
Talking. Hello. Talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
System default.
Oh, that gave me Mr. Mutin flashbacks. Right.
Good.
I remember Mutin.
It says.
Right, where is the fucking reset instance button?
Okay,
There
I
should
got
be a
an idea.
reset instance button.
Oh, I'm a dumb bitch. I'm a fucking dumb bitch. Got it.
Uh-oh. Don't let Lav hear that. Oh, shit. Wait, hello?
Why?
Never mind.
Hello.
Sorry, I was talking on my
Quality
stream. What's up?
filter.
Give me 1 second.
No
So-
problem, bro.
Came and see. Sorry it took me so long.
4 and
You're
above.
good, no worries.
Okay, how you doing?
I'm doing
Common
great.
and
What are you-
above.
what
Okay.
fucking program are you
Gold
using?
alert
Why?
threshold.
Ecamm?
Yeah, what is that?
It's like a professional one, but I don't know how to use it.
100.
Okay, there's like, I'm just so curious, okay? Because there's like 50 million like normal programs that like normal human beings use, like Google Hangouts or Zoom or Discord or even Skype. Why? What is this abomination of a program that you stumble into that is so difficult to set up? Why?
It's not difficult to set up. It took me 2 seconds.
Yo,
I just
where
got a
are the
new
fucking
laptop, so I'm
alerts,
having a hard
man? Yo,
time
I
copying
can't
and
deal with that.
pasting.
I want real
So I couldn't
alerts.
copy the link, but
Do I need
it's,
fucking weak auras for alerts now? Alright, let's look it up. More sound alerts for loot appraiser. TSM plus loot app. Install it. An add-on that shows the prices on the screen. TSM installation and setup. Yeah, no. Challenge setup. How to set up loot appraiser. Tutorial gold farming. Loot appraiser. Best for Adams gold making, gold farming. Okay, I'm gonna do it how I know how to do it, even though I don't want to do it because that makes no sense. Okay, because it's just a pain in the fucking ass. But I want the sounds, man. I need the sounds. I need the sounds. Ooh. 1 second. Let me see. 1 second. There might be a way to fix this, but I'm gonna have to disable you guys. We can watch this at the same time.
This is what a lot of producers use. There's apparently a lot of stuff you can do with it. I just don't know. Can you see the chat and stuff? Well, duh. Yeah, you can see yours. I don't know. People always say that it shows up weird for them.
Well, right. The problem right now is that it's very laggy. Or is my audio lagging?
No. Do you have it on higher than 720?
Is that gonna? If I have it on higher than 720, is that gonna make it laggy?
A little. Everybody always gets so annoyed with. Don't look at it, cause you're fine on my end. Let me double check with my chat.
Okay. Listen, we're fine. Listen, everything is A-OK. All right, what's up? How you doing?
Okay, good. So I don't know if you caught the episode that I did with Jubilee, but did you see it?
Which one was
Not
that
yet.
again?
It was recent. Anti-feminists and male feminists. It was chaos, let me tell you.
Fuck, did we watch that? I don't remember if we did or not. Did we, guys?
It's a long one. It was like an hour.
It should be
but
here.
I don't
There's
remember.
there's a dude, Mason.
Wait, before we hop into this,
Okay,
Yeah.
it's not here.
introduce yourself for people that don't remember who you are.
And your chat scares the f out of me. Hi, I'm Tori, and I make YouTube content. Why'd you have to make me do an intro?
Well, what do you? Oh, don't. I don't care if nobody finds your shit. Do you do this full time or what?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well, don't you want people to find you? Don't you want to get more followers and shit? Isn't that kind of the point?
No, I don't really care.
You do this as a job and you don't care how many followers you have?
Yeah, no, not really. Why? Were you always looking at your followers and stuff?
Yeah, I'm trying to make a fucking living over here. Of course I care about how many followers
Oh
I have.
my
It's kind of important
God.
to our job,
That's
you
the
know?
first time I've heard him say
Well,
it.
I do,
Holy
like,
fuck.
content
Good
for
man.
Other creators too.
Good
so
man. I'm all
that's
for
kinda
that.
like,
Yes,
you know,
bro.
how I pay everything, but yeah, I probably subscribe to my channel, y'all.
There you go. Okay, that's a little
Yeah.
better. Jesus.
Torsha, 2 A's. I make red pill content.
Nice.
Cringe. We call it RP over here.
Cool.
I don't like
Me
saying
too,
red
because I
pill.
figure all you guys are players, because none of this shit is real. I'm just kidding. Okay, what do you want to talk about?
Is
Go.
that
Jubilee. What?
is that like an NPC? Same thing.
Sure, why not?
Because that's how we feel about you guys with your feminist manifesto and shit.
Right, and my blue hair and all that. Good. I'm glad.
No, the blue hair's fine.
Oh, thanks.
Anyways.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me grab my list. So anyways, if you haven't seen the thing, long story short, Mason, dude that was on the cast who transitioned, so female to male, he's
Okay.
gonna come on my show, and I got in my head about the patriarchy, and I've been trying to dig into it, but everything that I
Where's
find
the
is all
sound?
basic
Where's my
level
sound?
shit. And I'm just wondering, like, can you explain it to a red pill bitch what the patriarchy is? Because it sounds bizarre to me. It sounds bizarre. I'll tell you why. Because
I've
all it
always
is to
had
me
that
is a
sound,
guy
man,
that's
but
in
it's only
charge.
for like
And I guess in
top of the
certain
class shit.
institutions, a man's always at the top, right? But why is it that they're why?
In the
Yeah.
broadest sense, the patriarchy, the idea of patriarchy is just that society is kind of organized by and for men.
Got it.
In the
okay.
broadest sense. So at the end of the day, everything should serve the interests of men.
Well, wait. How? Why? Where do you get that conclusion?
Don't attack me. That's
I'm not
you.
atta-
You
I'm
asked
not
me what the
atta-
patriarchy is. I told you. Well, actually, I probably do believe that too. Okay, what do you mean by that? How do I get that conclusion? Yeah.
So, like, here's the way I see it: is that we have it set up the same way that we had it set up before the technological advances. So we just held on to it. It wasn't like we want to oppress women. I
Sure,
don't
it doesn't
see
have to be
that way.
intentional. It could just be
Actually,
that
no,
way.
no, no.
Society has
The other
worked
way
with
around.
women being
Air
oppressed. It's
horn.
not like people are like, we hate women, so let's oppress them. It was just
Right.
like men tended to sit on the top of the hierarchy and they oppressed women because that's based, I guess.
So then, feminists that want to dismantle the patriarchy, where do they expect men to go?
Oh, so it's saying to. Oh,
I
so
know
that.
that sounds kind of wild.
They basically would. The expectation would be a society designed with more
So
equity,
this one
where
is.
it's not only trying to satisfy the whims or desires of men.
I feel like society is
Yeah,
against
so this
men.
is A. Sound
That's
A.
because you're
This
a
is-
red
Sound
pillar.
A.
No, like,
is-
to be honest with you, it seems like, can you give me examples of how men dominate in society or whatever? Don't look at the chat.
Sorry, I just got a message from somebody. So ways in that society, ways in which men dominate society. I mean, men pretty much sit at the hierarchy of almost every important thing as it stands right now. So if we look at like the majority of business owners, if we look at the majority of capital owners, if we look at the majority of important decision makers like politicians or presidents or heads of state, just in general, in most power structures in society, men are usually disproportionately either sitting at the very top or make up like the very top.
But if you look at the vote, women predominantly vote Democratic. So if we make up most of the vote, why isn't there a woman in office? This is like how I think of it. It's like nobody wants to do it, and the only one we had was Hillary.
Where's the reset instance?
You know what I'm
button,
saying,
man?
though? Like, it just doesn't seem like women are running, and the ones that are do make it into those positions, like AOC and,
Oh, there we go.
you know? I don't know politics that much, but, like, can you counter that so I can understand it?
I feel like my PC is gonna explode, man.
Why? What are they
Just
saying?
no, I need a minute to think about how I'm supposed to respond to that question, okay?
Like, more
Meh.
women vote?
No.
Fine.
Okay.
Which one? Oh, God.
Okay.
He's like, oh,
That should
fuck,
be fine.
she's a
Oh
dumb
shit, you
bitch.
guys
No,
can't see.
well, yeah, but
honestly.
okay, just follow me on this one, okay? We're gonna start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, you guys are
Ready?
gonna tell me this shit, man. Like, I'm not
Okay.
even paying attention.
We've got two kids, all right? Fred and Mark, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fred comes from a beautiful, white, dual parent household. Both parents make a lot of money. Mom stays at home, helps him with schoolwork. They got a lot of money for food, nutrition, all that. Okay. He's a runner. Okay. He does track and field. Okay. Then we've got the other kid.
No.
I forgot his name. Jeff. Okay. Mark and Jeff. First
Mark.
one's
It's
yeah.
Mark.
What was the first kid's name?
Fred.
Okay, Fred. Okay, that was Fred's household. Mark is a minority, and he's in a.
Okay, hold up.
No, can I?
Before, no,
Okay,
come
go
on.
ahead, go ahead.
I get the intersectionality.
No. Just okay. Now you're just gonna.
Okay,
wait. Now
fine.
you gotta wait. Okay. Okay.
I know.
Mark is poor. He lives in a shitty house. He's malnourished his whole life. Okay. Doesn't even grow as tall as he's supposed to. Parents don't help
Damn,
him with
bro.
anything. He doesn't get to start school
Mark
athletics.
got the short end of
Yeah.
the stick.
Because he has to work a job to help his mom and all that shit. Okay, so all of this shit. When these two kids turn 18 years old, both of them have a chance to run track and field. Okay. Now, who was the first one? Jeff?
Fred.
Fred. Okay. If Fred and Mark go to compete, okay, after 18 years of these two different lifestyles, how long would it take Mark to catch up to where Fred's at?
Probably he wouldn't.
Okay, sure, that's a really extreme answer. But if I were to say, well, what if he was on a good diet for a week? Or what if he trained for 6 months?
He's like really malnourished.
Yeah,
right?
he's super far behind.
He
True.
needs like gear.
Yeah. So when we talk about things like the patriarchy or the establishment of men, the higher part of the hierarchy between male and female, right? One or two generations of like women working isn't going to flip that. The way that patriarchy is in our lives is going to be like deeply embedded at social levels, at occupational levels, at political levels, such that like a few
Yo, he
generations
just made
isn't
the
just gonna
argument
be
that I was telling you about last time. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, but when I was talking about like black people rights, where it's basically like they're oppressed and how basically like they don't have equal rights and all of this, and my argument was like, unless it's this exactly what he just said, which is basically like the white man had a head start and basically they were slaves for hundreds of years from the time that, you know, they were taken out of Africa and taken to America and whatever, and the white men already established the foundation for civilization. They already had their place in society, and they were just getting more and more richer basically, and black people were basically, let's just say white people went from like a 1, which is basically like there's nothing, there's no buildings, there's no infrastructure, there's nothing, to a 6 or a 5, whatever, because they were, well, slaves. They were a huge, tremendously like unbelievable disadvantage. They were at a 1. You have no rights, you're not allowed to own anything, just all of that stuff. And then obviously slavery was abolished. Then it took another like 50 years basically to have the civil rights movement in the 60s, 70s. white people went from a 5 to 6 to a 7 to an 8, even a 9. And then by now it's like they're already at a 10, and black people are like catching up, but the white people are already in those positions. Like they had a head start, essentially. I said basically, if that's the argument that's being put forward, I could honestly have a conversation about that. But if it's like about the laws, about the regulations, and how you can't go to school, or there's some laws that prevent you from advancing in society, or on an individual level that prevent you from getting to a higher status in society, like all of these things, I just downright refuse to even talk about them, because it's just like so blatantly obvious that that's not the fucking case, and how you have so many successful black people who will stand by that. And in fact, talking about these things is kind of disrespectful to them. At least they themselves say it. Some people like, what is it, Morgan Freeman or whatever. So yeah, that I'm really, I'm surprised he said that, but yeah, that's cool.
Why is it so bad? If a gender stereotype seems to be something that the patriarchy hates with like a burning passion.
Okay, why do you think they hate gender stereotypes?
I guess I could see if a girl didn't want kids or something, and everybody was pressuring her to have kids because she's just good for her womb type shit. Like, that would be annoying.
Yeah, that's one thing. So
okay.
What you're talking about is a subset of gender prescriptions. Like basically saying like, if you're a woman or if you're a man, you have to live this way. If you don't do that, we're all going to bully the fuck out of you. That's generally what like feminists will want to fight against, is that like people should have the opportunity to explore and do the things they want to in life. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
But I don't really think people are bullying them.
Do you think
I feel
that
like
there are
feminists are bullying everybody else for their choices?
They might sometimes, sure. I'm gonna say that's not true. Okay. But do you think that there might be like general things in society that men are seen as being able to do that people don't want women doing, or that women are seen as being able to do that they don't want men doing? Do you think in general that might be a thing?
Well, no. I mean, when I used to wrap cars, there was a guy that was like, I don't want a girl working on my car, and then my boss made me work on the car. So they didn't give a fuck. Like, I don't know.
Sure, in that case, but like, I'm just saying that in general, there might be...
Can you give me an example?
Well, that you just gave me an example right there. Somebody maybe said that...
But that proved my point, that it doesn't matter.
It didn't prove your point. It showed that one man didn't want you doing something, and it took your boss, who I'm guessing is another man, to tell you that you could.
I thought I could no matter what.
Yeah, but what if your boss told you no? Then you're not going to be doing it.
That's not how it works at a shop.
Hold on. That's absolutely how it works at a shop. If your boss says... If a person came into your shop and your boss didn't want to do that work, he wouldn't sell the job. He would just tell him to go somewhere else.
Wait, what do you mean? I'm saying like in the shop, my boss was like, he doesn't want a girl working on the car. Perfect. We'll put a girl working on the car.
No, but I'm saying that if he didn't want that, if he agreed with the guy, you wouldn't be working on the car.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So like if he adopted the same mindset.
Yeah, if he had the same mindset, right?
But he would get sued.
Sure.
See?
That's a positive example of feminism though, right? Where
Yeah.
you got like the law pushing, hopefully, against like an oppressive social standard, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about Mark? So is Mark just fucked?
Well, he's not fucked. I'm sorry.
Fucked.
He's not fucked. It's just a lot of work to like undo the quote unquote the damage, I guess.
So what would he have to? What's their goal to do? Like, what do they think is gonna happen? I don't know.
Well, the goal is probably to have a more equitable society where people don't feel like hardcore bullied into only performing certain roles because of their gender that's dictated to them by their gender.
But like the STEM fields are now having floods of women join them. I think we closed the gap on STEM.
Sure, and to some extent we probably have, but not completely, right? So people are just nibbling around the edges at places where they think they can probably find more equitable distributions.
But it can't be perfect.
It's probably not going to be perfect. But there's
So then
probably
why are
still
they
areas.
annoying?
There's probably still areas where improvement can be made. No, or do you think we're done? You think this is like, I think like 10% of programmers are like women. Is that like all women can ever do for programming? They'll never get farther than that.
don't think it's 10%. I think it's like 30 or something, which is still low, but like I just don't think
Is it really 30? If you go to like a comp sci program, is it really 30%? I feel like that.
Are you asking me? I feel like I read that. I might
I
be
feel like
wrong.
it's like 10 to 1. That'd be my guess. At least.
I don't know. At the bigger corporations, there's a lot of women. From what
Wait, why can't
I've
I
been
soul
told, that's
shade?
Yeah, but I'm saying
anecdotal.
particularly like in like programming areas.
Yeah,
like
where's
women
soul
tend to
shade?
work.
AI?
No, like just coding. Does that
Yeah,
Yeah.
AI. Duh.
true?
Okay, but don't you think, and I don't mean to pull the whole Jordan Peterson talking point, but it's like,
Mm-hmm.
don't you think if women wanted to, they would?
I think that there's a lot of social pressures that push us in a lot of directions, so that even if
It's
we
like, grow up. Who cares? Push your barriers, bitch. That's how I see it.
Sure, but like, do you like? I don't think anybody's above social pressure, right?
I don't give a fuck.
Then
I
why?
don't know.
Okay, if you don't give a fuck at all, why do you have makeup on?
Ooh, good point. Good point. Okay, I see you.
Well, and then also, I didn't even comb my hair today, right? Do you see there's kind of like a different standard in terms of our presentation?
I guess, but I don't know. That's how I was raised.
Well, yeah, because you're supposed to look good to me, right?
No.
Yeah.
My mom said that people take you seriously if you look put together.
Yeah, but why are women?
Why
Why do women have to look good for men? Right? Do you think
They-
that? Do you think that left
no.
to their own devices, do you think that women would put on makeup and everything to like just look good for each other if there were no men involved at all?
Yeah, probably.
Yo, where's soul shade?
Okay.
Makeup's a fun time. I
Why
was
do
a
you think?
makeup
Why do
artist.
you think? Why
so
do you
it's
think?
weird.
Why do women wear
Yeah, I
makeup? when
fucking
only men
hate
wear
the idea of makeup.
Men do wear makeup.
makeup? Okay, hold on. Take a break. Let me know when you're ready. Okay?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
that's
I'm ready.
you're capping hard. Okay.
Yep.
Men
No,
in
I'm
general do
not.
not wear makeup. That is not true. Some might, but that you're
At
talking.
large, no.
Okay,
They
so
don't
we're
wear
not
it,
talking
yeah.
about like your
Wait,
emo
what
or goth
fucking
friends or
level
scene
am I?
kids from high school. Okay,
I'm
Don't
60.
talk smack about them.
I'm not talking smack about them, but in general, men don't wear makeup, right? Men don't put as much effort generally into their appearance as women do, right?
Yeah, but they're uglier and their outcomes suck.
Who's
you
uglier?
know? Men.
Well, sure, but like even attractive men generally don't wear makeup. That's still like a pretty.
No, but my point is like men will bitch about the fact that women can wear makeup, and it's like, well, you could too, but like
Sure.
you think it's gay, so
True, sure.
I don't know what to tell you.
Sure. Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with that. I'm just saying that that's like an
Right.
example of like a different standard for appearances. That like women
Okay.
are kind of like by default expected to like put a decent amount of effort into their appearances, whereas for men it's like a kind of whatever thing.
But I'm saying in terms of appearance, like a man still has to wear a suit if he wants to be taken seriously.
A man has to
Yeah.
wear a suit in like the most exceptional of circumstances, I guess, and like if you're like in a very, very, very formal setting. But even at that, like compare how much trouble you have to go through as a man to put on a suit versus
They're expensive.
more compared to like really nice dresses and everything. What do you mean?
I think aren't
Yes, they are expensive. She's got a point there, but bruh, do you understand? Does she not understand the concept of a woman literally has to spend 2 hours getting ready to go out every single day? Minimum 1 hour is what usually women will spend doing their makeup, fixing their hair, and that's just like the base. And then all day they're adding on to it whatever the fuck they're doing. Like, just the idea of that drives me fucking mental. Like, I thank God, and I'm not even religious, that I'm a fucking man. For that specific thing, like that shit would drive me fucking mental. I wake up every single day and brush my teeth, wash my face, wash my hair, whatever, like dry myself off, put some fucking deodorant on. Within half an hour, boom, I'm done. Okay, and I sit down, I get to work. I imagine, okay, I don't really leave the house. So if I was a woman, I don't really leave the house. I would never have a real reason to put on makeup, I guess. So if I was like the female version of myself, maybe I probably would. I can imagine. I'm just going to take it as a fundamental thing that women put on makeup. Like, the idea of that drives me fucking mental. So yeah, he's like saying that, yeah, as a woman, that is expected of you for a good reason, because, well, you're at a huge advantage if you do put on makeup.
Aren't suits like a couple grand?
For a really nice one, but
Yeah, but you buy it one time and you're done. Like putting on makeup, what the fuck? Are you seriously comparing how much money a woman spends on cosmetics compared to a man, and then plus the suits on his side? You're still not even getting a fraction close to how much women spend on cosmetics and beauty things and makeup and stuff, which I think would be a fair argument for him to make at this point.
you only need like 2 really good suits as a guy, or 1.
Yeah.
How many do you wear one dress as a woman?
Everybody knows I wear 2.
You're
I have
saying
2
you
lines
stop. Hold on.
alternate.
Stop doing
You
the weird.
asked me.
I know, but you're doing like the weird exception to try to win the argument. In general, who do you
I'm
think
not
spends?
trying to win an argument.
Well, I'm just trying to establish the point. Who do you think spends more
Women
money?
make up.
Who do you think?
Women make up more of the Consumer Report, so probably women.
Women have to have more money spent on clothes, probably, because they're expected to have like more variety in their wardrobe.
No
right?
shit.
Are they?
I don't know. Never mind. I'm not sure.
Oh my god,
Who knows?
seriously? You even
Who
debating
knows,
this?
man? Who knows? Anything
it
is
just doesn't
possible, right?
Yeah, good point.
I don't know.
Definitely.
I just wasn't raised like
That's
that.
just fucking annoying that she's doing that.
But I can see women like shopping.
Well, just say that, you dumb fuck.
But
What?
like, anyways. So.
It's just like a waste of time. It's like you just like.
Is this because of the patriarchy? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, some would argue that that's a part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what,
Even I would agree
they
with
want
that.
us to be ugly?
Yep.
That's fucked up.
True.
I don't want to do. I don't want to do it.
That's just wacky and wild, right?
No, I'm serious. Like, it seems like the patriarchy doesn't even exist here like it does in other countries.
Of course not.
Yeah,
No, it
different
doesn't.
countries probably have different sets of norms. That's true.
No, like I think, like if you were to go to, I don't know. I don't want to get my countries mixed up, but like Afghanistan or something.
Seriously?
Where were they pulling the girls out of schools? Because they didn't
Probably-
want them to go.
Probably sounds like an Afghanistan thing to me.
Yeah, like the Taliban was like,
Mm-hmm.
we're getting you out or whatever. So to me, that's a clear patriarchy.
Yeah.
I don't see it out here.
Okay.
See what I'm like a problematic one
Yeah.
out here.
Basically, it's like if people aren't being like murdered in the streets, there's like no problem, essentially.
Well, like taking girls out of schools, that's pretty sad. They were like crying and stuff. That's it. They don't have to be stoned to death for it to be a problem.
True.
But why isn't feminism doing anything over there?
Because feminists can't exist over there because they don't even have a society that would allow for feminism to exist. But I'm pretty sure there are feminist organizations where they try to talk about those issues. But
Interesting. Okay.
Yo,
So,
where's fucking Soul Shade?
what would you recommend to read by like Friday in terms of good things on the patriarchy, like good literature? Because everything that I Google is the same shit.
I have no idea. I just read Wikipedia, bro. I'm a Wikipedia warrior.
I just feel like this whole thing's gonna cannibalize itself. It doesn't seem like there's an end.
Probably, but that's probably true of literally all social movements, right?
Yeah. But shouldn't they stop at some point?
Yeah, maybe. Probably all social movements should stop at some point.
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't they have a deadline? I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you just making fun of me?
No, I'm true. Like literally, you said you're part of the Red Pill. Isn't that community literally eating itself alive right now?
Do you mind? Don't talk about my peeps. I don't talk
and
about yours.
Yeah. Okay. Pretty sure
I'm trying to
everybody's eating themselves
trying
alive
to-
right now. Okay.
I'm trying to understand your side. I'm rooting for it because honestly, y'all lost your fucking minds.
Yeah, we did. Meanwhile, you guys
what
are
else?
worshiping Andrew Tate?
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
No.
See, that's what upsets me. Like I've literally told you, you're watching like the White Claw Power Hour shit, and just the
That's like the prevailing, like that is the prevailing red pillars, right?
No, it's not.
Yes,
and
it
I already
is.
explained it to you. Just
You can
because
explain that you have some niche content creators that you think represent your version of red pill. That's fine.
the
but
original.
it doesn't matter who the original is. It matters who the popular ones are.
True. I see. But I'm just saying, I explained it to you already.
Yeah, I
thought.
understand. You've got your people that you like, but like Fresh and Fit, and like Andrew Tate and Sneeko, these are like the popular guys for fucking red pill shit, not the other guys.
Listen, I said I don't want any victims. So, the Andrew Tate shit. Hope he's innocent for that reason and that reason only.
Yeah.
Otherwise, burn him at the stake. I don't give a fuck.
Jeez.
I'm kind of a sociopath, if you haven't.
Abilities
picked up
not
on that.
necessarily with special are substantially empowered.
Oh, that's sexist. Is that the patriarchy? Don't you think we'd be at the top? If we were all
Therefore gives an
sociopaths.
additional
Well, that's
terms.
why they say behind every good man is a
Magical
sociopathic woman.
damage.
Isn't that the saying?
Something like
Very
that.
dangerous.
Yeah, we clean up all your shit.
True.
Do all the housework, the chores. Yeah. Okay, I had another question. Should I ask, is it... So somebody in your... Well, actually, a large proportion of people of your audience said that I look smug when I talk. It has been bothering me since I bring it up on all my live streams. I try to point out what I think smug looks like.
Okay.
What the fuck is smug?
What do you think smug looks like?
Yo, is this girl a fucking alien or something?
When have I ever been condescending?
It's just like a demeanor, you know?
But when have I ever been that way to you? I haven't.
It's just like it's not what you're saying. It's just like
to subscribe is
tone,
phenomenal.
I think.
Destiny GG.
My tone?
Yeah.
Well, how do I fix it before I have this interview?
You just it's just the way you sound. Who cares? Just sound condescending. Fuck it.
That's horrible.
Why?
Because I'm not trying to be condescending.
Yep, but you are.
Well, who cares? Then,
Okay.
I mean,
Like everything about your fucking demeanor
I
says
mean, like
that.
women usually sound like really bubbly and blah blah blah, and that's probably why if a woman has like a more monotone kind of voice, people interpret it like very negatively.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Trauma's a bitch.
What? Okay.
Yo, she sounds like somebody with a really low IQ. Like, I don't know. Like, she's either fucking stupid or I don't fucking know what's up with her. But this is the second, like, debate I've seen Destiny have with her. So she's obviously not stupid to be debating with him. At least I would think so, considering he's a pretty good debater and he usually has good debates with people. Maybe she is fucking stupid. Because that would be the one explanation. The other explanation is she's just like emotionally retarded or something. Yeah, I don't fucking know what else. But bro, guys, I will be back in about an hour or two. I'm gonna get something to eat, and we'll continue from there. But as soon as I get back, like I'm just going for the dungeons. We're gonna be doing some gold farming. I don't know. I think I'm going to leave the interviews for tomorrow, where I'm going to go around and go and say hi to the guys who I've interviewed in the past and show them what I've done and blah, 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 all of that good stuff. Rankings. So we're going to do the top 100, I can imagine, tomorrow or the next day. Today, I just want to chill the fuck out and play some WoW, do some gold farming, listen to like some debates or some shit. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in about an hour or two. Time is money.